Anne encountered the bizarre Dick Devil, while Juno helplessly watched her frightening transformation begin suddenly. Juno cautiously approached confused Anne inside forest pathways, silently questioning the devil's strange supernatural attack. Anne screamed painfully after receiving another penis-growing beam, terrifying Juno during their dangerous pursuit tonight. The escaping devil disappeared skyward, while Juno chased desperately, ignoring Anne's worsening condition behind him. Terrified, Anne urged Juno toward immediate revenge, fearing additional attacks before the mysterious devil escaped permanently. Anne begged Juno relentlessly, believing defeating the fleeing devil would finally reverse her humiliating transformation. Juno gently questioned anxious Anne while returning townward, noticing her embarrassment and unusual silence throughout walking. Anne nervously explained her underwear problem beside trees, forcing concerned Juno toward nearby clothing stores immediately. After changing clothes, Anne admitted disgusted frustration toward her condition while Juno listened carefully beside storefronts. Juno joking, suggesting temporary acceptance until they successfully eliminated the strange devil permanently. Anne angrily rejected Juno's strange encouragement, calling her unwanted transformation disgusting and completely meaningless. Beside roadside signs, Juno passionately defended penises humorously, confusing Anne further while seriously explaining bizarre entertainment theories during traveling. Embarrassed, Anne immediately silenced Juno's ridiculous speech, apologizing afterward while admitting desperate desires. Anne worried the transformation influenced people mentally, doubting Juno's maturity while continuing their difficult, dangerous journey. Determined, Anne prioritized defeating the devil quickly, nervously hiding uncomfortable movements. Anne nervously discussed bathroom problems with Juno, struggling understanding unfamiliar urinals and uncomfortable physical changes afterward. Panicked, Anne begged confused Juno for guidance, admitting complete inexperience using bathrooms while standing awkwardly outside. Juno calmly suggested using women's bathrooms normally, though Anne's distant reaction immediately worried him afterward nearby. Embarrassed, Anne revealed painful toilet difficulties, explaining her transformation's unnatural size created constant uncomfortable embarrassing problems. Frustrated, Anne blamed the devil completely, angrily describing unpredictable movements causing unbearable situations during their exhausting adventure. Anne embarrassedly explained uncontrollable reactions toward touching herself, leaving confused Juno completely speechless beside forest pathways. Panicked, Anne demanded calming advice immediately, but inexperienced Juno admitted knowing absolutely nothing about penises whatsoever. Juno suggested relaxing outdoors peacefully, while Anne criticized his ridiculous optimism during their uncomfortable traveling conversation. Frustrated, Anne angrily climbed Juno suddenly, swearing eventual revenge before continuing dangerous searches for the responsible devil. Anne and Juno rested quietly together before accepting dangerous requests around their nearby peaceful village. After Anne's strange transformation, they planned traveling journeys, hoping defeating the Dick Devil would restore normality. During nighttime, Juno accidentally noticed Anne's enlarged body beneath blankets, becoming completely shocked and speechless. Anne angrily awakened beside Juno, embarrassed. After realizing her condition caused another uncomfortable misunderstanding during morning, Juno calmed Anne afterward, while both awkwardly discussed strange bodily changes before continuing their upcoming adventure. Anne innocently questioned Juno why penises get hard. Juno revealed, "That's because for production." Juno panicked immediately after hearing Anne's confusing question, while she calmly continued discussing possible explanations nearby. Juno explained babies resulted from loving couples, realizing Anne mistakenly trusted childish stories throughout previous years completely. Anne confidently approached embarrassed Juno, offering detailed explanations about reproduction after misunderstanding his earlier awkward reactions completely. She proudly admitted reading inappropriate books previously, while shocked Juno struggled understanding her sudden mature confidence afterward. Anne confidently explained understanding reproduction already, while embarrassed Juno struggled discussing intimate topics. She suggested continuing discussions inside bed together, causing horrified Juno misunderstanding her innocent educational intentions completely afterward. Anne reassured nervous Juno about their partnership, while he secretly questioned her unexpected emotional closeness toward him. Juno became overwhelmed after realizing Anne possibly liked him romantically, interrupting her educational explanation immediately afterward, completely. He nervously prepared unnecessary supplies, while responsible Anne rejected inappropriate ideas and questioned his strange behavior afterward. Juno misunderstood Anne's confidence completely, assuming her transformed body changed attitudes toward intimate relationships. He imagined disastrous consequences from Anne's misunderstanding. While she calmly searched educational materials, nervous Juno reluctantly accepted Anne's requests, believing controlling her transformed desires required careful preparation immediately afterward, completely. Anne confused Juno further by positioning herself strangely, while he desperately attempted calming their awkward misunderstanding afterward. She innocently repeated childish pregnancy explanations, leaving exhausted Juno speechless. After everything they previously discussed together, Anne cheerfully explained pregnancy myths, while exhausted Juno realized she completely misunderstood human reproduction and intimacy. She innocently questioned Juno about mysterious preparations earlier, causing him immediate panic. Juno desperately canceled previous discussions, while confused Anne continued innocently misunderstanding his nervous reactions beside him afterward. Juno approached villagers beside Anne, loudly asking about the mysterious dick devil haunting nearby forests. He apologized nervously, while Anne shamelessly repeated the devil's embarrassing name publicly before confused townspeople. Anne insisted their dangerous adventure required locating the dick devil, despite Juno's constant embarrassed complaints. After discovering terrifying transformations, Anne realized removing the attached curse required capturing the bizarre monster immediately. A figure questioned suspicious strangers about the creature's location while Juno demanded avoiding the humiliating complete name. Anne and Juno encountered stern priestess Herma, immediately recognizing another victim suffering humiliating devil curses. Juno politely questioned Herma about the dick devil, while Anne nervously observed her uncomfortable reaction. Herma misunderstood Juno's awkward question, believing they rudely asked about her embarrassing cursed transformation condition. After admitting her curse publicly, Herma angrily described becoming another disgraceful victim beneath twisted demonic powers. Overwhelmed with shame, Herma swore exterminating the dick devil immediately, hoping finally restoring her honor. Anne happily bonded with Herma over shared suffering, while Juno secretly admired the ridiculous devil's unbelievable actions. Herma requested joining Anne and Juno's dangerous journey, hoping together they could finally defeat the monster. Herma warned them about the powerful creature, explaining previous humiliating encounters forced her desperate cooperation previously. Anne enthusiastically declared their official dick devil extermination party formed, exciting Juno beside serious-looking Herma afterward. After forming their alliance, Anne, Juno, and Herma returned calmly toward lodging, planning tomorrow's dangerous mission. Anne rested beside Juno peacefully, discussing Herma's trustworthy personality before hearing strange noises nearby. Suddenly afterward, while resting quietly, Anne and Juno noticed disturbing sounds echoing repeatedly from Herma's nearby bedroom during nighttime. Juno panicked after hearing Herma screaming shameful confessions, desperately struggling against overwhelming cursed desires alone inside. Concerned by terrifying screams, Juno rushed toward Herma's room, fearing the unstable priestess completely lost control tonight. Entering Herma's room, Anne and Juno discovered her shamefully addicted, helplessly surrendering before unbearable cursed pleasure completely. Anne angrily condemned the dick devil, sympathizing deeply with Herma's suffering, while shocked Juno watched nervously nearby silently. Outside beneath moonlit skies, Herma's uncontrollable screams echoed loudly through town, horrifying exhausted sleepless villagers throughout midnight that night. During breakfast, Herma discussed defeating the dick devil, while Juno nervously remembered yesterday's embarrassing nighttime. Juno awkwardly listened upstairs while Herma loudly struggled against overwhelming cursed urges throughout another exhausting morning again. Determined protecting innocent victims, Herma passionately insisted capturing the dangerous dick devil immediately before additional suffering spreads. Anne enthusiastically supported Herma's mission publicly, while embarrassed Juno avoided discussing yesterday's humiliating screams nearby afterward. She comforted Herma sincerely, promising unwavering assistance, despite Juno complaining loudly about another sleepless night previously. Anne confronted Herma, compassionately, realizing her brave behavior secretly concealed painful. Herma immediately panicked after hearing Anne's observations, becoming embarrassed. Juno quickly dragged embarrassed Herma away privately, leaving confused Anne alone inside the quiet dining room. Juno awkwardly apologized afterward, admitting everyone clearly heard Herma loudly masturbating throughout the previous exhausting night. Cornered nervously, Herma denied everything completely, pretending innocent despite obvious evidence exposing her embarrassing nighttime behavior. Herma desperately claimed her embarrassing actions were sacred training exercises, while Anne and Juno remained completely unconvinced afterward. Juno warned Herma quietly controlling herself better nightly, causing embarrassed priestess admitting everyone overheard previously afterward. Herma shamefully accepted Juno's criticism, already planning stricter punishment methods preventing future loud nighttime incidents afterward. That evening, Anne and Juno rested hopefully together, wishing Herma's strange punishment routine remained completely silent tonight. Moments later, muffled moaning noises echoed upstairs again, leaving exhausted Juno silently enduring another sleepless night afterward. Juno awakened suddenly beside sleeping Anne, screaming helplessly while Herma's unbearable noises continued upstairs tonight. Desperate for silence, Juno climbed outside dangerously, attempting escaping Herma's constant moaning before losing patience completely. Hearing louder noises again, Juno encouraged himself nervously while Herma accidentally shouted his embarrassing nickname repeatedly. Juno angrily confronted Herma directly, demanding quieter behavior despite realizing she desperately muffled herself already unsuccessfully. Punched the wall furiously, he accidentally synchronizing perfectly with Herma's movements, ultimately destroying weakened wooden boards. Herma crashed violently through weakened walls, while terrified Juno screamed helplessly, reacting instantly. Juno shielded unconscious Anne protectively, while Herma tumbled uncontrollably. Afterward, Juno realized a broken support log unexpectedly launched his body directly beside sleeping Anne awkwardly. Next morning, confused Anne discovered unconscious Juno and Herma tangled together, immediately questioning last night's disaster. Herma questioned their shrinking funds while Anne and Juno discussed expensive damages. Juno blamed Herma's destructive training accident, while embarrassed Herma promised controlling herself more carefully afterward from now. Anne selected a profitable quest involving dangerous man-eating flowers, hoping funding their continuing monster investigation. Despite Herma's concerns, Anne confidently accepted the quest before their determined party immediately departed together, afterward peacefully. Reaching nearby villages, Anne, Juno, and Herma learned mutated flowers defeated countless previous adventurers repeatedly before already. Approaching dangerous forests, Anne, Juno, and Herma suddenly heard desperate screams echoing. Hidden among flowers, terrified victims suffered humiliating attacks, while monstrous plants surrounded helpless struggling bodies completely nearby. Anne immediately rushed forward, wanting rescue victims, while cautious Juno argued surviving flowers remained extremely dangerous still. Herma furiously attacked Juno after misunderstanding his hesitation, while trapped victims desperately begged nearby continuously afterward loudly. Ignoring Juno's warnings, determined Anne prepared rescuing victims while Herma forcefully prevented reckless dangerous. While rescuing victims carefully, Anne instructed Juno restraining reckless Herma before dangerous flowers attacked. Ignoring caution completely, Herma accidentally stumbled directly into attacking flowers while attempting heroic rescues nearby herself recklessly. Entangled helplessly, Herma desperately guided Anne toward vulnerable flowers while resisting overwhelming dangerous attacks nearby continuously afterward. Following Herma's instructions, Anne activated magical attacks carefully, while frightened Herma endured painful flower, furious afterward. Herma violently destroyed attacking flowers herself, while exhausted Anne and Juno watched nearby silently afterward. After rescuing victims successfully, Anne suggested burning remaining flowers while exhausted Herma angrily protested nearby immediately afterward. Ignoring Herma's complaints, Anne prepared powerful fire magic carefully while Juno watched surrounding flowers. Anne's reckless flames exploded suddenly, accidentally launching Herma violently through burning forests. Villagers thanked Anne afterward, although rescued men remained strangely obsessed with disturbing flower experiences previously endured nearby. Hearing descriptions about muscular monsters nearby, Juno suspiciously realized another bizarre creature possibly connected toward dangerous devil activities. Anne suspected the Dick Devil created dangerous flowers nearby, while Juno quietly considered disturbing possibilities afterward. Carefully, Juno worried the Dick Devil spread bizarre monsters everywhere, while excited Herma reacted strangely. Determined Anne demanded stopping the devil immediately, while exhausted Herma imagined dangerous monsters appearing everywhere continuously afterward. Anne questioned tavern workers carefully before mysterious warrior confidently revealed personal knowledge. Cybele introduced herself proudly, explaining the monster previously cursed her body before offering helpful cooperation immediately. She reserved private baths afterward, believing honest discussions required complete openness, while Anne watched uncomfortably nearby. Herma and Anne reluctantly joined Cybele bathing together, while Juno waited separately inside the men's bath. Cybele confidently entered first beside Herma, leaving Anne nervously hesitating before following their strange investigation partners. Anne angrily avoided discussing body differences, redirecting conversation toward their dangerous Dick Devil investigation instead. She defended different body types sincerely, though Cybele teasingly dismissed her heartfelt encouragement immediately afterward. Juno silently struggled understanding Anne's emotional argument, while Herma calmly listened. Herma explained personal satisfaction mattered most, despite desperately wanting restoration before eventually returning toward church duties. Anne loudly argued, Bigger sizes were meaningless, while Cybele smugly questioned her hidden jealousy during bathing discussions. Cybele suddenly attacked angrily during bathing arguments, forcing Herma protecting Anne. Herma nervously realized Cybele's emotional outburst became unexpectedly serious after their embarrassing heated comparison discussion afterward. Anne innocently questioned Cybele's complaints, unknowingly exposing surprisingly childish differences caused by the monster's strange curse. Humiliated and furious, Cybele accused Anne mockingly before loudly ending their pointless emotional bathing negotiations completely. Cybele swore defeating the Dick Devil first someday, promising future superiority over Anne during their bitter rivalry. Juno happily returned afterward, unknowingly interrupting lingering tension between Anne and Herma outside peacefully. Herma reflected seriously afterward, while Anne nervously questioned Juno about preferences, confusing him completely during awkward silence. Juno noticed Anne behaved normally outwardly, despite suffering the Dick Devil's humiliating. While traveling quietly beside companions, Anne admitted the uncomfortable curse remained awkwardly positioned underneath her clothing. Embarrassed during their journey, Anne secretly struggled, adjusting the curse discreetly, without companions suddenly noticing nearby. Herma became shocked watching Anne's suspicious movements, misunderstanding her behavior while remembering humiliating curse effects previously. Herma seriously considered wilderness conditions worsening Anne's urges before they safely reached civilization. While adjusting her uncomfortable curse secretly, Anne suddenly encountered several strange slimes. Juno recognized dangerous gooey slimes instantly, warning companions these aggressive creatures differed from ordinary slimes completely. Herma explained gooey slimes contained less water, causing violent behavior whenever dehydration irritated their unstable bodies. Juno revealed vicious gooey slimes drained moisture from humans, forcing their frightened group toward unavoidable dangerous combat. Despite embarrassing discomfort underneath clothing, Anne prepared supporting magic while Juno distracted approaching gooey slimes nearby. Anne accidentally blasted nearby gooey slimes while distracted, surprising Juno and Herma. Juno noticed Anne's unusual hesitation immediately, realizing something embarrassing prevented her normal aggressive fighting behavior recently. Herma silently guessed Anne's curse caused distracting thoughts, criticizing her foolish concentration during dangerous battle situations harshly. While slimes overwhelmed Juno continuously, Herma worried about Anne's strange behavior, disrupting their coordinated defensive strategy completely. Embarrassed. Finally, Anne admitted uncomfortable positioning problems, causing shocked Juno discovering another humiliating. Anne rejected Juno's embarrassing terminology immediately, while surrounding gooey slimes continued approaching. Juno suggested quick adjustments shamelessly, but Anne refused immediately because Herma remained standing nearby watching awkwardly. During hesitation, aggressive gooey slimes suddenly attacked Juno together, overwhelming him. After surviving exhaustion, Juno rested beside Anne thankfully, while Herma temporarily collected water nearby peacefully afterward together. Anne unknowingly supported Juno comfortably afterward, causing embarrassed reactions once Herma noticed their suspicious intimate resting position. Anne apologized sincerely afterward, while Juno admitted misunderstanding difficulties caused by her embarrassing. Juno encouraged Anne kindly afterward, promising reliable support despite awkward circumstances surrounding her humiliating unusual curse recently. Feeling reassured afterward, Anne openly asked Juno advice about controlling her uncomfortable oversized transformation problems directly afterward. Juno awkwardly suggested different underwear styles, helping Anne manage discomfort discreetly. Herma approached Juno curiously afterward, requesting additional advice, while Anne noticed their unexpectedly dependable growing friendship nearby. Encouraging herself confidently, Anne accepted her embarrassing transformation calmly before suddenly feeling uncomfortable movements underneath clothing again. Anne complained loudly afterward, while Herma and Juno seriously discussed difficulties caused by obvious uncomfortable physical changes. Herma asked Anne teaching assistance because she wanted stronger magic spells against the dangerous cursed monster. Juno suspiciously questioned Herma's intentions after hearing strange spell requests during their casual conversation together. Herma explained ordinary magic failed completely because the Dick Devil possessed powerful protective barriers. Anne suggested unusual magical techniques enthusiastically, while Juno continuously misunderstood every suspicious explanation. Inside crowded stores, Anne excitedly recommended magical restraining ropes for capturing enemies before escaping dangerous encounters. Herma searched weapon shops carefully while Juno panicked after hearing another suspicious magical item. Shopkeepers demonstrated bizarre tentacle weapons enthusiastically, leaving Juno horrified by their strangely inappropriate practical appearance afterward. Herma tested wriggling tentacle projectiles seriously, explaining their sticky slime effects against approaching enemies during combat. After hearing dangerous instructions, Juno questioned everyone's intentions while secretly imagining embarrassing situations. Carrying numerous supplies afterward, Anne and Herma prepared carefully, while Juno silently worried about upcoming battles. Juno visited Herma's room awkwardly, regretting earlier misunderstandings while noticing suspicious noises. Entering nervously afterward, Juno discovered Herma trapped embarrassingly beneath strange magical equipment beside Anne nearby inside. Anne immediately helped struggling Herma carefully, while Juno defensively explained everything resulted from accidental magical training exercises. Herma nearly cried emotionally after Anne kindly reassured her friends willingly supported difficult situations. Embarrassed afterward, Herma forced Anne outside alone, while Juno remained nervously trapped inside the uncomfortable room afterward. Anne happily noticed Herma and Juno growing emotionally closer together while recovering from earlier embarrassing. Although pretending confidence outwardly, Anne quietly wondered why their growing relationship strangely bothered her, emotionally inside afterward. Juno awkwardly assisted restrained Herma, carefully while reconsidering previous assumptions about her unusual magical interests afterward. Herma misunderstood Anne's invisibility advice completely, while Juno struggled removing dangerous wriggling tentacle equipment. Their magical experiment failed disastrously afterward, leaving Juno suspended upside down, while Anne apologized nervously beside Herma afterward. Anne, Juno, and Herma arrived inside Wine, welcomed warmly by Scientist Ars. Ars kindly allowed Juno temporary entrance, explaining Wine peacefully supported women. She warns about possible attacks against isolated women villagers, as Juno explained the Dick Devil's dangerous curse. Ars promised informing every villager immediately, while Anne confidently described restoring victims through defeating the terrible monster. Herma created a protective barrier surrounding Wine Village, allowing everyone peaceful safety throughout the quiet nighttime hours. Anne, Juno, and Herma rested cautiously, hoping their village trap successfully attracted the hidden Dick Devil. Strange nighttime noises disturbed Juno, who realized Herma secretly wandered nearby forests. Juno investigated immediately after hearing crashing sounds, discovering a mysterious masked woman suddenly attacking him violently. The transformed villager threatened eliminating enemies supporting the Dick Devil, revealing herself without activating defensive magical barriers. Juno protected sleeping Anne while battling the corrupted villager, suspecting another victim supported the dangerous monster secretly. Juno realized corrupted villagers attacked Herma already, immediately warning Anne while escaping. Anne quickly awakened after Juno revealed Dick Devil followers existed secretly throughout the suspicious isolated village. Anne and Juno desperately searched hiding places while nervous villagers nearby quietly watched their suspicious movements. Juno horrifyingly realized the Dick Devil transformed entire villages, creating countless dangerous fanatical supporters everywhere afterward. Anne and Juno discovered villagers worshipping the Dick Devil secretly underground, escaping immediately before getting captured themselves. Juno suspected every villager became addicted after transformations, deciding immediate escape. Juno worried constantly about Herma, fearing prolonged exposure would corrupt her mind beyond recovery permanently afterward. Juno insisted, searching alone for Herma, refusing Anne's assistance because unknown dangers surrounded corrupted villagers everywhere. Corrupted villagers chased Anne and Juno aggressively through streets, behaving strangely. While escaping frantically, Anne noticed villagers wielded unfamiliar strange weapons, further increasing their dangerous, terrifying pursuit tonight. Anne and Juno escaped pursuing villagers, deciding Scientist Ars would certainly provide temporary protection. Ars welcomed exhausted travelers kindly inside, causing Anne and Juno briefly believing trustworthy allies. Hidden villagers suddenly restrained Anne and Juno forcefully, while Ars silently watched their desperate struggling movements nearby. Ars revealed complete devotion toward Lord Dick Devil, threatening punishment against everyone resisting the dangerous cult afterward. Ars discovered Wine villagers proudly embraced their transformations, rejecting plans destroying their newly gained male anatomy. Confused by villagers celebrating transformations happily, Anne questioned strange enjoyment surrounding possessing male anatomy publicly afterward. Anne remembered previous conversations awkwardly, realizing misunderstandings about anatomy prevented properly investigating the dangerous monster recently. Ars teasingly offered educating Anne about masculine pleasures, while frightened villagers watched her embarrassed, horrified by bizarre explanations. Anne rejected villagers' strange invitations, while desperately protecting her remaining personal dignity afterward. Villagers insisted Anne and Juno misunderstood happiness, claiming transformed bodies eventually created unforgettable pleasure for everyone. Cybele suddenly appeared beside captured Herma, proudly revealing another victim trapped. Cybele proposed cooperating temporarily, while villagers encouraged humiliating demonstrations, celebrating transformed bodies enthusiastically before everyone nearby. Anne angrily questioned villagers' dangerous obsession, condemning reckless behavior harming innocent victims throughout wine repeatedly afterward. Realizing persuasion failed completely, Cybele violently attacked, restrained Herma, while promising brutal lessons about masculine pleasure afterward. Cybele proudly praised transformed villagers enthusiastically, while threatening Anne beside restrained unconscious Herma during chaos afterward. Anne desperately rejected Cybele's violent behavior, realizing unfamiliar powers caused dangerous destructive attacks. Accidentally during struggle, bound helplessly, Anne unsuccessfully attempted controlling her transformed body, while Cybele prepared another cruel attack nearby. Cybele violently launched restrained Anne toward burning ruins, ignoring desperate screams echoing throughout devastated wine. Afterward, before Anne crashed completely, Cybele suddenly rescued Juno carefully, shocking confused villagers. Cybele arrogantly challenged Arsa's confidence, claiming future superiority while villagers compared transformed bodies. Herma secretly revealed hidden weapons, suddenly attacking distracted villagers, while rescuing restrained Anne and Juno simultaneously. Juno bravely shielded Anne from surrounding attackers, while Herma encouraged continuing their desperate dangerous resistance together afterward. During chaotic fighting, Juno's transformed dick reacted unexpectedly, shocking nearby Anne and frightened villagers. Terrified villagers realized Juno possessed overwhelming transformations exceeding Arsa's strength, making resistance completely impossible against her afterward. Villagers panicked after Anne's transformation surpassed Ars, fearing permanent losses against her overwhelming newly gained strength. Anne proudly challenged terrified villagers confidently, while Ars watched her growing dominance. Completely overwhelmed, emotionally frightened villagers collapsed helplessly, while Anne questioned their dramatic fearful reactions afterward. Silently nearby, villagers surrendered immediately afterward, thanking Cybele reluctantly while Anne celebrated unexpected victory through intimidation alone proudly. Anne confidently declared pursuing greater strength further, while exhausted villagers doubted her dangerous ambitions silently afterward. Anne questioned wine's corruption sadly, while Herma warned selfish desires could transform compassionate healers into criminals. Eventually, Anne, Juno, and Herma renewed their determination, deciding immediate victory against the Dick Devil remained absolutely necessary. Herma cheerfully accepted temporary enjoyment before continuing dangerous adventures alongside companions searching relentlessly for the monster. Anne, Juno, and Herma continued searching cities after the monster suddenly cursed Herma with humiliating transformations. The group discovered suspicious advertisements offering unusual underwear services, specifically helping women affected by strange curses. Anne cautiously entered the tailor shop beside Juno and Herma, investigating connections involving recent monster incidents. Tailor Los Celeste welcomed everyone politely, immediately recognizing both Anne and Herma suffered embarrassing supernatural transformations. Salas explained increasing monster attacks caused unusual changes, motivating his compassionate business. Anne confidently trusted Celeste's tailoring skills, while Juno worried nervously about her embarrassing. Salas guided Anne toward private measurements, explaining accurate underwear sizing required careful examination inside separate rooms. He excitedly celebrated meeting genuine cursed women, overwhelmed after previously doubting. Obsessed with dick girls, Salas thanked the mysterious monster enthusiastically, while imagining Anne's exact measurements excitedly afterward. Anne finished measurements nervously, while Salas struggled controlling overwhelming excitement around his first cursed customer professionally. Salas examined Anne's measurements carefully, becoming completely shocked after discovering her big dick. Anne explained measuring while soft seemed reasonable, though Salas reacted nervously beside her confused expression afterward. Overwhelmed with excitement, Salas desperately wanted confirmation personally, yet feared frightening Anne through inappropriate behavior. Juno interrupted worriedly while Salas struggled controlling obsessive thoughts, eventually deciding desperate actions remained necessary afterward. Completely overwhelmed emotionally, Salas suddenly confessed passionate love toward Anne, astonishing both companions. Juno screamed dramatically after heard the marriage proposed, while Anne rejected Salas's confession. Salas envied Juno, constantly traveling beside Anne and Herma, believing his companion enjoyed unbelievable daily blessings immensely. Distrusting Salas completely, Juno desperately volunteered replacing Anne while protecting her from dangerous. Salas revealed lifelong preparation meeting cursed women, horrifying Juno, after describing years dedicated toward strange fantasies. Leaving the shop afterward, Herma questioned Anne carefully, while Juno criticized Salus's overwhelming unusual preferences toward cursed women. Salus proudly finished Anne's custom underwear, encouraging her immediately. Anne happily tested the underwear comfortably, while Salus emotionally admired his handcrafted design's successful practical performance. Herma questioned unusual features seriously, while Juno jokingly suggested ridiculous combat modifications involving dangerous tentacle. While Anne discussed rejecting Salus's proposal, the tailor enthusiastically continued, producing additional specialized underwear designs nearby afterward. Anne reassured Juno casually afterward, though Juno secretly admitted relief after her rejecting Salus's sudden marriage proposal. Anne noticed strange ripping sounds nearby while Juno quietly struggled, hiding growing embarrassment. Anne panicked after her transformed body completely shredded Salus's expensive underwear, horrifying everyone inside immediately afterward. Herma mocked Salus dramatically while exhausted Anne complained endlessly about unbearable problems caused by the ridiculous curse again. Herma awkwardly asked Juno about practicing abstinence training, causing immediate confusion. Herma embarrassed herself further while explaining religious training, making Juno question her strange misunderstanding completely afterward. Herma revealed upcoming religious abstinence practices, while Juno worried the unhealthy ritual exhausted her. Determined improving self-control, Herma confidently prepared intense training immediately, despite Anne and Juno's growing concerns afterward. During following morning, Anne pitied exhausted Herma after her entire week-long religious training practice unexpectedly began. Anne happily accompanied Juno completing quests together, while Herma continued strict abstinence training. Herma confidently studied useful spells during abstinence training, believing complete self-control remained completely manageable for herself afterward. Several painful days later, Herma collapsed screaming desperately while unbearable desires completely overwhelmed her. Remembering Juno's advice carefully, Herma convinced herself surviving 3 difficult days guaranteed easier remaining abstinence afterward. During 4th abstinence day, intense frustration consumed Herma completely, despite desperately exercising, constantly suppressing dangerous worldly desires. Desperate suppressing overwhelming urges, Herma continuously exercised intensely while exhaustion visibly consumed her. During 5th abstinence day, Herma nearly violated her strict rules accidentally. Herma angrily confronted Juno after unbearable desires worsened further, despite continuously exercising without meaningful improvement afterward. Juno suggested releasing accumulated frustration, eventually horrifying Herma while describing dangerous consequences after prolonged abstinence afterward. Although deeply disturbed, Herma reluctantly accepted Juno's advice, while enduring several additional painful days afterward. Juno awkwardly reconsidered his dangerous advice while leaving Herma alone inside the quiet room afterward completely. Believing greater pleasure awaited later, Herma stubbornly continued abstinence training despite unbearable suffering during 6th day. Herma completely lost concentration afterward, overwhelmed constantly by dirty thoughts. Desperately resisting temptation, Herma exercised blindfolded intensely, while forcing herself avoiding every possible visual distraction afterward. Juno arrived bringing dinner, unexpectedly, discovering Herma training aggressively. Herma unknowingly exercised seductively before Juno, whose shocked expression revealed immediate uncomfortable confusion. Embarrassed beyond reason, Juno escaped downstairs while Herma continued shouting exercise routines, repeatedly behind him loudly. After surviving 7 abstinence days, exhausted Herma proudly declared success, despite appearing physically drained. Anne described hunting disgusting worms nearby, accidentally horrifying Herma with detailed explanations about slimy monster behavior. Hearing Anne's horrifying worm description, trembling Herma immediately collapsed while desperately suppressing disturbing imagination afterward. Completely, still overwhelmed afterward, Herma demanded every disgusting detail immediately, while Juno dragged her away nervously afterward. Anne discussed previous victims calmly, realizing surprisingly few women actually regretted their bizarre transformations. Juno reassured Herma compassionately, insisting destroying the dangerous dick devil remained morally. Anne accidentally exposed Herma's embarrassing condition publicly again, leaving furious Herma, choking nervously beside startled companions. A nervous bunny waitress approached cautiously after overhearing discussions regarding the terrifying dick devil inside nearby tavern. Ira revealed the dick devil attacked previously, forcing desperate escape attempts before unexpectedly meeting Anne's traveling group. Ira begged joining Anne's party, believing destroying the dick devil remained her only remaining hope afterward. Ira tearfully explained her boyfriend would reject her transformed body unless the horrifying curse disappeared permanently. Herma mocked Ira's desperate worries coldly, while exhausted Ira struggled controlling overwhelming emotional. Juno accidentally noticed Ire's exposed transformation dick, becoming speechless. Embarrassed Ira panicked, loudly after realizing everyone noticed her condition, causing uncomfortable silence inside tavern afterward. Ira tearfully explained her exposed body constantly caused humiliating accidents, leaving Juno extremely uncomfortable. On suggested specialized clothing helpfully, while Ira stubbornly defended traditional rabbit outfits, despite embarrassing exposure problems. Anne questioned Ira's feelings toward Salis jokingly, causing Juno's jealousy and awkward reactions nearby afterward, unexpectedly. Herma criticized Ira's revealing appearance harshly, while sudden shouting interrupted their tense tavern conversation completely afterward. Manu, Ira's boyfriend in rabbit outfit, entered dramatically, leaving shocked companions speechless inside tavern afterward. Ira tearfully rejected returning home, fearing her boyfriend would hate her transformed body permanently afterward completely. Manu accepted her sincerely, insisting genuine love remained unchanged despite bizarre physical transformation afterward, completely. Excited reunion, interrupted suddenly after both rabbit lovers accidentally revealed matching transformations before shocked companions nearby afterward. Ira abandoned joining Anne's journey completely, happily embracing reconciliation with her transformed boyfriend inside tavern afterward. Anne questioned Juno curiously afterward, wondering whether relationships involving transformed girls remain truly unacceptable romantically. Juno accidentally implied loving Anne regardless of transformations, leaving Anne silently shocked beside their crowded tavern table afterward. Embarrassed Juno denied confessing immediately, while Anne teasingly misunderstood his feelings, forcing him hiding nervous excitement. After hearing alarming rumors, Anne, Juno, and Herma prepared traveling toward the vulnerable elf village, before another devastating attack could suddenly happen. Herma explained reaching the elf village required crossing Temptation Forest, filled with dangerous spiritual temptations afterward. Anne warned everyone about seductive dryads manipulating travelers mentally before trapping victims permanently inside enormous trees. While traveling carefully together, Herma confidently claimed divine devotion protected her from manipulative forest temptations completely. Anne comforted worried Herma, while Juno ordered everyone remaining together against mysterious whispers surrounding nearby wandering paths. Ignoring warnings completely, Herma followed seductive whispers toward suspicious trees, suddenly disappearing from the group's formation. A seductive dryad embraced Juno lovingly, separating him from Anne while manipulating his confused emotions completely. Anne resisted seductive whispers promising curse removal, desperately struggling against manipulative dryad temptations nearby afterward. Distracted completely, Anne abandoned Juno temporarily after another dryad falsely claimed discovering the elusive Dick Devil nearby. Separated inside dangerous illusions, Juno weakened physically while manipulated Anne aggressively demanded affection and emotional devotion. Exhausted completely, Juno realized overwhelming dryad temptations resembled succubus attacks while questioning the devil's dangerous influence. The transformed dryads trapped victims differently, using seductive temptations, instead of immediately draining human. Controlled completely, illusionary Anne embraced weakened Juno lovingly while demanding his remaining life. Juno realized manipulated Anne behaved strangely, understanding the seductive dryad's disguise fooled everyone nearby completely afterward. Obsessed furiously, Anne chased imaginary Dick Devil sightings, while Herma angrily interrupted the group's chaotic confusion immediately. Cybele discovered trapped Juno beside arguing companions, mocking their weakness against seductive dryad temptations inside forests. Cybele ignored seductive whispers completely, confidently searching alone for additional information regarding the dangerous Dick Devil afterward. A dryad attempted seducing Cybele physically, praising her muscular body while manipulating hidden personal insecurities. Pretending interest cleverly, Cybele tricked the dryad into revealing information regarding enlarging cursed transformations immediately afterward. Furious suddenly, Cybele violently attacked the manipulative dryad, refusing further humiliating temptations. Nearby companions watched confusedly while Cybele continued furiously fighting transformed dryads throughout the dangerous enchanted forest. Anne recovered confused memories while Herma realized Cybele rescued everyone from dangerous dryad illusions once again afterward. Cybele explained transformed dryads became unusually powerful after corruption caused directly by the terrifying Dick Devil afterward. The group learned rumors describing planned attacks against the elf village by dangerous Dick Devil followers. Cybele revealed the elf village chief possibly possessed important knowledge regarding the mysterious Dick Devil's identity afterward. Determined completely, the exhausted companions resumed traveling carefully toward the elf village, despite potential hidden enemies nearby. Anne, Juno, and Sabelli cautiously approached the isolated elf village, while discussing forgotten suspicions surrounding their uneasy traveling alliance together. Villagers immediately questioned the group's presence, causing confusion as Juno accidentally approached Cybele too closely before everyone reacted nervously afterward. Armed elf guards blocked the entrance aggressively, warning outsiders leave immediately because dangerous recent incidents threatened their peaceful village inside. A maid elf interrupted the confrontation suddenly, recognizing Anne's group and demanding guards permit their entrance without further resistance today. Inside, village chief Nix Aristophanes welcomed everyone calmly, revealing knowledge about the devil before discussing strange prophecies surrounding Anne recently. Anne connected the prophecy with recent events, realizing the devil attacked earlier, while Herma investigated mysterious clues surrounding nearby villages. Nix explained every female elf gained male organs recently, creating confusion because nobody understood controlling their transformed, unfamiliar bodies properly. Cybele questioned Nix carefully about possible information, while Juno listened silently after realizing the village desperately needed immediate outside assistance. Nix requested Juno teach elf villagers body control techniques, forcing him accepting responsibility, despite embarrassment surrounding their unusual dangerous mission together. Nix finally revealed the Dick Devil altered human bodies magically, shocking Juno completely after learning the monster possessed legendary destructive abilities. Nix explained mythical devils followed strange values, while Herma questioned whether additional dangerous demons existed beyond their current enemy already. Anne misunderstood completely, assuming another devil removed male organs instead, causing confusion while everyone discussed mysterious supernatural opposing forces together. Nix revealed legendary devils change different body parts, explaining only Excali Dong could destroy the protected Dick Devil permanently afterward today. Nix explained, Excali Dong remained hidden inside dangerous ruins, while Juno reacted awkwardly after hearing the weapon's embarrassing unusual name aloud. Cybele criticized Nix's leadership harshly, arguing villagers suffered unnecessarily because their leader ignored practical solutions against dangerous transformations completely. Fanes revealed Nix became bedridden after protecting villagers, because the curse transformed her body into an extremely painful condition permanently. Everyone listened silently while Fanes described Nix's sacrifice, explaining the curse created unbearable physical burdens after repeated devil attacks recently. Cybele apologized reluctantly after understanding Nix's suffering, while Fanes continued describing how severe transformations prevented normal movement completely afterward recently. Anne promised defeating the devil soon, assuring Nix their group would restore everybody's bodies, and finally end dangerous transformations permanently together. Nix admitted uncertainty regarding the devil's location, while Fanes enthusiastically dragged Juno away toward embarrassing educational training sessions immediately. Juno awkwardly taught transformed elf villagers basic hygiene practices, while exhausted students listened silently inside the crowded classroom together today. After answering questions nervously, Juno noticed confused expressions everywhere, realizing the unusual lesson embarrassed nearly every attending villager there deeply. One elf described mysterious white liquid appearing unexpectedly, causing sudden panic throughout classrooms, while Juno reacted with complete shock afterward. Several villagers admitted similar experiences immediately afterward, forcing Juno explain complicated biological details carefully, despite overwhelming embarrassment during lessons today. Juno revealed transformed bodies produced two different liquids naturally, leaving every listener horrified, while attempting understanding unfamiliar biological explanations completely. Outside nearby, Anne and Herma overheard the disturbing lecture accidentally, becoming speechless together while questioning Juno's increasingly strange educational methods inside the village school. An imp attacked travelers, explaining womb tattoos increased desire, while Anne's party searched dangerous ruins for Excaldong against devils. Desperately, the imp fired a curse beam toward Gino, shocking Anne immediately while painful magical effects overwhelmed his armored body completely. Anne checked frightened Juno carefully after the MP escaped, while Herma warned everyone about worsening dangerous tattoo symptoms afterward nearby. Juno begged Anne avoiding contact because overwhelming sensations intensified continuously, forcing Herma protecting him while Anne chased desperately afterward alone. While pursuing the escaping imp, Anne suffered painful curse symptoms herself. Realizing Juno endured identical unbearable problems throughout journeys together, Anne realized the curse affected her body similarly after seeing Juno earlier, causing painful swelling and frightening confusing thoughts immediately. Juno struggled controlling overwhelming desires from the womb tattoo, while Herma observed silently, understanding dangerous curse effects nearby afterward. Herma explained womb tattoos destroyed self-control completely, warning their companions the curse could eventually ruin entire civilizations permanently afterward. While Anne suffered increasing heat and discomfort, Herma suggested temporary relief methods carefully, hoping reducing unbearable painful curse symptoms somewhat. Juno refused satisfying the curse directly, fearing dependence would worsen endlessly, while the womb tattoo manipulated victims psychologically over time. Herma realized her explanation affected Juno strongly, while his embarrassed reactions made their uncomfortable traveling situation increasingly awkward afterward. She mistakenly assumed Juno dated Anne already, criticizing their shared sleeping arrangements while Juno denied everything awkwardly beside her afterward. Herma questioned Juno's feelings toward Anne seriously, while remembering Anne's innocence and misunderstanding their relationship during exhausting dangerous travels together. Juno admitted fearing confession because Anne's condition originated from him, deciding defeating the devil remained priority before romance afterward. Finally, meanwhile, the imp watched happily nearby, believing Anne's growing feelings and curse effects would eventually create disastrous emotional consequences later. The imp tried escaping quickly, but Anne suddenly appeared nearby, frightening the creature while continuing their dangerous cursed confrontation afterward. Anne cornered the terrified imp aggressively, despite overwhelming curse symptoms, forcing the creature retreating desperately through nearby forest paths afterward. After intimidating the imp successfully, Anne demanded removing Juno's curse immediately, while struggling controlling painful overwhelming emotions herself afterward nearby. Anne proudly returned after chasing the imp away, surprising Juno and Herma, while finally earning genuine appreciation from companions afterward. Later, the exhausted group rested peacefully inside town housing, while Anne recovered slowly after handling dangerous situations throughout exhausting journeys together. Anne happily believed everything finally stabilized after protecting Juno, unaware exhaustion and lingering curse symptoms still dangerously affected her tonight at home. During nighttime rest, Herma suddenly interrupted loudly after furniture crashed downstairs, startling Anne and Juno from their shared bedroom immediately inside together. Juno calmly explained unusual dick reactions happened from exhaustion sometimes, but Anne angrily rejected his confusing explanation about mysterious transformations. Anne happily admired the peaceful river while wearing new swimwear, enjoying temporary relaxation after dangerous journeys alongside Juno during summer. She excitedly invited Juno swimming nearby, while he nervously watched her cheerful behavior and slowly relaxed beside calm waters. Earlier, Salis magically delivered swimsuits through a shared item box, surprising Anne and Juno before their peaceful riverside vacation together. Juno quietly worried about Salis' intentions afterward, though Anne calmly listened beside trees while resting peacefully near riverside together afterward. Later, Herma entered the river silently, watching Anne and Juno carefully, while mysterious tension slowly developed between everybody during sunset. Herma overheard rumors about dangerous fish attacking men nearby, immediately treating the strange reports seriously during riverside vacation conversations today. Entered the water carefully for training, she suspecting another cursed creature existed nearby, while several strange fish approached silently underwater. Although Herma confidently practiced distant swimming meditation, Anne and Juno worried constantly because dangerous creatures reportedly still haunted nearby waters. Anne noticed Herma behaving unusually serious during relaxation, while suspicious thoughts secretly motivated Herma beneath the calm river surface today. Salis previously designed Herma's swimsuit specially, allowing easier body concealment while maintaining flexibility during dangerous underwater training exercises nearby recently. Herma noticed strange fish surrounding her body underwater, calmly realizing Salis designed the swimsuit effectively for concealment during dangerous situations. Suddenly, Herma panicked after the fish attacked aggressively underwater. While Anne and Juno watched nearby without understanding the strange disturbance, Juno immediately suspected something dangerous happened afterward, rushing toward Herma while Anne stayed behind near the riverside, watching nervously alone. Herma finally discovered the aggressive fish targeted unusual body parts specifically, causing embarrassment and confusion during chaotic underwater struggles nearby today. Moments later, explosive water pressure launched Herma skyward violently, confirming Juno's suspicions while terrified Anne witnessed the shocking attack nearby. That evening, Herma painfully remembered the fish attack, complaining privately while struggling sleeplessly, because severe injuries still bothered her afterward. She angrily scolded Juno afterward, warning dangerous fish were not harmless toys, while suddenly noticing movement outside nearby during nighttime. Outside nearby, Anne secretly practiced unusual body movements alone, until Herma discovered her suspicious training through the building window late tonight. Auntredly explained, she trained secretly outside, hoping improving her unusual weapon abilities would better protect companions during dangerous future battles. Hearing Anne's explanation, Herma immediately misunderstood everything completely, while exhausted Juno remembered Anne lacked proper sexual education throughout childhood previously. Herma finally understood Anne's innocent misunderstanding completely, promising secrecy afterward, while Juno quietly explained Anne's unusual upbringing and personal confusion. Anne's party traveled toward Excalibong's sealed dungeon, resting beside forests after receiving important directions from the village elf chief earlier. During nighttime camp preparations, Juno guarded sleeping companions quietly, while strange movements beneath nearby blankets suddenly disturbed him for hours. Herma confidently cooked mysterious mushrooms for dinner, causing Juno increasing suspicion after observing her unusual behavior beside campfire that night. Latter strange dreams affected sleeping Anne, while Juno worried silently, suspecting Herma's mushrooms caused dangerous supernatural reactions overnight inside camp. Anne transformed bizarrely during sleep, horrifying Juno completely after witnessing impossible physical changes caused by mysterious cursed mushrooms nearby. Juno noticed Herma mumbling strangely during sleep, realizing bizarre dreams affected everyone resting nearby throughout their dangerous overnight journey completely. Herma demanded dick equipment from Juno aggressively while dreaming, revealing embarrassing desires caused by mysterious mushrooms consumed earlier beside campfire. Juno awkwardly negotiated with sleeping Herma carefully, attempting calming her strange dream behavior before disturbing nearby companions during nighttime rest. Morning arrived unexpectedly while Herma searched confusedly for non-existent dick equipment, leaving Juno silently worried about continuing dangerous supernatural symptoms afterward today. Herma warned Juno carefully about further strange dreams, ordering him remain alert while avoiding thoughts worsening mysterious mushroom effects overnight completely, and admitted her dick feels uncomfortable, while Juno worried silently after hearing her strange complaints beside nearby grasslands that morning. Anne struggled breathing calmly overnight, promising embarrassed self-control, while Juno anxiously searched darkness. After hearing unexpected strange noises nearby repeatedly, the dick devil suddenly appeared before frightened travelers, threatening Anne with greater transformations, while Juno panicked helplessly beside her. Immediately, it attacked violently afterward, causing Anne terrible pain, while powerful energy bursts shocked Juno across the surrounding forest completely. After escaping briefly, frightened Anne begged Juno for assistance while both companions realized the curse continued growing dangerously. That evening, Anne checked worried Juno carefully after noticing his restless sleep, while he recovered nervously beside their temporary campsite that morning. Juno described terrifying strange dreams awkwardly, avoiding important details, while Herma and Anne listened carefully beside burning campfire afterward together. Anne became confused after Juno mentioned impossible dream battles, realizing mysterious curses continued affecting his unstable thoughts during travel recently. Determined, they resumed their dangerous mission confidently, planning capture the strange devil responsible for everyone's bizarre transformations and suffering together. Later, Anne visited unusual clothing stores searching protective underwear, hoping special equipment could manage dangerous curse symptoms during future battles safely. Ira visited a strange boutique seeking protective underwear, while Salas discussed embarrassing clothing problems caused by ongoing curses nearby. Salas praised IRA's dangerous mission proudly, explaining their group fought tirelessly against the mysterious dick devil everywhere nearby. After hearing her objective, Salas suddenly realized the curse threatened his beloved lifestyle and future happiness completely for everyone. The desperate Salas panicked dramatically afterward, begging Era and Manu for immediate affection before Anne's mission permanently destroyed his strange paradise and business. Overcome with emotion, Salas declared eternal support for the dick devil before fleeing nervously from confused customers nearby inside afterward. Era and Manu watched silently afterward, while Salas chased strangers obsessively through crowded streets outside that evening. Anne, Juno, and Herma discovered the dick dungeon, containing rumored treasures and possible weapons, capable defeating the terrifying dick devil. Juno and Herma immediately suspected the dungeon entrance was an obvious trap, but Anne remained determined despite their growing concerns. Anne firmly decided entering the dungeon alone, believing legendary weapons hidden inside could finally help destroy the dangerous cursed monster. Herma accepted their risky decision calmly, while Juno excitedly imagined obtaining powerful treasures hidden somewhere deep inside the mysterious dungeon. Inside the dungeon, Anne admitted feeling inexperienced exploring dangerous ruins, while Juno explained adventurers usually accepted dangerous missions for rewards. Anne cautiously entered deeper inside the dungeon beside Juno and Herma, nervously imagining horrifying traps waiting ahead. Herma discovered a strange object inside the corridor, confusing everyone, because its unusual appearance resembled nothing from ordinary dangerous dungeons. Juno confidently touched the strange mechanism accidentally, causing painful reactions immediately, while Herma worried his exaggerated response seemed completely unnatural afterward. Juno and Herma finally realized the dungeon contained disturbing perverted traps. Understanding ordinary adventuring experience would never help them survive safely. Juno urgently warned Herma against touching suspicious objects, but she awkwardly admitted already understanding the dungeon's embarrassing dangerous nature completely herself. Juno carefully guided Anne and Herma through corridors, regretting his poor trap detection abilities after earlier embarrassing. Herma accidentally triggered another strange trap immediately afterward, leaving Anne shocked. While Juno worried their situation kept becoming increasingly humiliating there, Anne defended Herma calmly, explaining she lacked dungeon experience, although Juno suspected the dangerous traps contained suspicious hidden intentions behind them. The group suddenly discovered genuine deadly traps nearby, causing everyone abandoning jokes immediately, while carefully escaping the dangerous collapsing corridor together. They found a pole leading downward safely, but Juno angrily realized the dungeon intentionally contained traps, targeting embarrassed male adventurers specifically. Anne struggled descending the pole carefully, blaming the Dick Devil for designing another obstacle exploiting her embarrassing physical. After regrouping safely downstairs, Juno noticed suspicious moving objects nearby. While feeling relieved, Herma avoided further dangerous accidents. Elsewhere, Cybele secretly followed the group confidently, planning allowing them triggering dangerous traps before stealing the legendary Excalibur weapon herself afterward. Cybele arrogantly mocked the group while advancing alone, but she suddenly activated another hidden trap and screamed painfully afterward inside corridors. Meanwhile, Anne, Juno, and Herma discovered a massive locked gate deeper underground, noticing mysterious writing carved carefully beside the ancient entrance. The group discovered the locked door required humiliating actions opening it, leaving Juno horrified while Anne criticized the dungeon angrily afterward. Herma suddenly volunteered sacrificing herself instead, refusing allowing Anne and Juno suffering embarrassment. Herma cautiously tested the mechanism privately, becoming strangely captivated afterward, while Anne and Juno waited nervously nearby. After opening the massive gate successfully, Herma secretly attempted closing it again, wanting additional time enjoying the strange sensation alone afterward privately. Suddenly, another hidden punishment trap activated immediately, launching Herma backward violently, while the dungeon mocked her growing selfish greedy behavior afterward. Juno watched Herma completely overwhelmed by another bizarre trap, while Anne worried their companion stopped resisting the dungeon's humiliating influence. Pointed out at Herma, Juno suggested abandoning her temporarily, but Anne immediately protested angrily despite their exhausting dangerous journey continuing forward. Anne thanked Herma after dungeon doors opened successfully, while Juno apologized nearby, relieved their dangerous mission continued without further complications. Juno angrily warned Herma about inserting strange objects carelessly inside suspicious dungeon holes filled with hidden deadly traps everywhere. Herma embarrassedly accepted Juno's harsh advice, while Anne watched silently nearby, understanding everyone worried about dangerous cursed situations recently. Anne walked nervously through dungeon corridors before hidden mechanisms suddenly activated, causing terrifying attacks and forcing her immediate terrified escape. Juno protected Anne from incoming attacks skillfully, while she thanked Juno sincerely afterward, realizing teamwork improved their dangerous survival chances. Anne defended Herma kindly after Juno's complaints, realizing priestess risks constantly protected everyone from dangerous dungeon traps during exploration. Anne privately worried about becoming useless, deciding she must contribute properly instead of depending completely upon companions during adventures. Juno entered massive final chamber carefully, discovering mysterious statues surrounding strange architecture, while sensing hidden dangers nearby inside ancient ruins. Herma noticed unusual sounds before revealing legendary weapon Excalibur dramatically, surprising everyone inside mysterious chamber with sudden unbelievable discovery completely. Suddenly, enormous statue awakened beside Excalibur, forcing Anne, Juno, and Herma, preparing themselves nervously against dangerous gigantic golem immediately together. Anne complained nervously after discovering female golem possessed strange cursed anatomy, while Juno awkwardly explained dangerous dungeon conditions nearby afterward. The golem accused Anne, Juno, and Herma of opposing Lord Dick Devil, immediately declaring them disrespectful intruders inside sacred chambers. Giant Golem attacked aggressively while protecting legendary Excalibur, forcing Anne, Juno, and Herma preparing themselves carefully for dangerous battle ahead. Anne, Juno, and Herma suddenly became trapped inside magical restraints, struggling helplessly while mysterious dungeon powers restricted movements completely afterward. During battle, Anne accidentally activated strange cursed object containing tentacles, causing embarrassing chaos while Juno watched shocked beside her helplessly. Anne struggled removing disgusting slime-covered tentacles while Juno panicked nearby, warning dangerous changes could awaken hidden cursed powers unexpectedly inside. She accidentally escaped restraints alone, using strange movements, while Juno encouraged her proudly, despite impossible physical conditions surrounding everyone nearby. Anne confidently motivated trapped companions continuously, although Juno insisted normal physical laws prevented them escaping restraints. Similarly, during dangerous battle completely, the giant golem became furious after Anne destroyed important tentacle pot, declaring her existence dangerously threatening toward dungeon balance. Immediately afterward, Anne bravely distracted attacking tentacles alone, ordering Juno and Herma escape safely, while she protected companions during desperate dangerous battle. Anne attacked the giant golem directly, smashing its helmet forcefully, while strange glowing energy revealed unexpected damage beneath the armor. Juno watched nervously as the damaged golem stood silently before him, while Anne's reckless attack shocked everyone inside dangerous ruins completely. Juno sat helplessly after Anne was swallowed by the giant golem, leaving him shocked. Panicked after hearing Anne disappeared, Juno charged angrily toward the giant golem, while Herma desperately shouted warnings behind him immediately. Herma reassured Juno that golems lacked proper digestion, meaning Anne probably survived inside the creature despite frightening circumstances for now. Herma suddenly questioned Juno suspiciously, believing he selfishly relieved himself, while Anne remained trapped inside the dangerous golem creature nearby. Juno defended himself awkwardly afterward, insisting fear for Anne caused problems, while Herma criticized his careless behavior during emergencies repeatedly. Herma identified the giant golem's forehead gem as its weakness, while Juno worried reaching that dangerous height seemed completely impossible. Inside the giant golem, Anne realized magic failed there, leaving her trapped helplessly while searching desperately for another possible escape. Anne reluctantly decided using her transformed body might enlarge enough strength, believing desperation forced her toward embarrassing survival methods inside. Hearing Juno battling outside courageously, Anne became motivated again, while the giant golem resisted fiercely against their combined desperate efforts continuously. Refusing surrender, Anne repeatedly struck the giant golem's interior walls forcefully, hoping her relentless attacks eventually shattered the monster completely. Herma and Juno noticed Cybele suddenly appearing strangely exhausted nearby, while mysterious liquid dripped across her trembling armored body afterward. Juno immediately recognized aphrodisiac smells surrounding Cybele, causing concern, while Herma suspected dangerous traps hidden somewhere nearby inside the dungeon. Herma questioned Juno suspiciously about recognizing aphrodisiacs, before another unexpected intruder suddenly interrupted their tense conversation inside the giant golem. Cybele angrily attacked the giant golem recklessly afterward, shouting complaints while smashing enormous objects directly against the monster during battle repeatedly. Juno ordered Herma, supporting Cybele temporarily, believing their combined hatred toward monsters finally created opportunities defeating the giant golem together. Cybele launched enormous debris toward the giant golem aggressively, while Herma watched the chaotic attack unfold nervously nearby afterward. Juno spotted the forehead gem cracking successfully, gaining confidence immediately, while preparing another desperate strike against the weakening giant golem creature. Inside the giant golem, Anne encouraged herself stubbornly, believing enough force could eventually destroy surrounding walls and escape safely outside afterward. Their combined attacks finally shattered the giant golem completely, sending broken pieces collapsing everywhere, while Anne escaped from inside successfully afterward. After escaping safely, Anne immediately rushed toward unconscious Juno worriedly, preparing magic assistance while fearing he suffered serious injuries during battle. After surviving together, Anne accidentally hugged Juno tightly, while he proudly believed his unusual power finally became a reliable weapon for battles. The group discovered a strange sword called Excalidong, but Cybele failed removing it before Juno suggested Anne attempt extracting it herself today. Anne successfully pulled the unusual sword free happily, then announced they finally possessed another weapon against the dangerous devil enemy from now. While proudly swinging Excalidong afterward, Anne suddenly noticed the strange weapon becoming soft unexpectedly, leaving Juno completely embarrassed. Nyx explained the sacred sword remained cursed, preventing its true power, while Anne, Juno, and Herma discussed possible solutions together carefully. After leaving the castle, Juno suggested continuing their investigation while Anne and Herma followed quietly. Juno decided repairing his damaged sword first, while Anne secretly worried about becoming stronger beside experienced companions during dangerous adventures. Entering the blacksmith shop, Juno requested sword repairs, while Anne reflected about Cybele's support and improving her magical combat abilities afterward. The blacksmith examined Juno's unusual weapon carefully, then promised further answers. Later, after investigating the mysterious cursed sword more thoroughly, the blacksmith explained the cursed sword alone could defeat the monster, while describing rumors about women suffering strange transformations recently, everywhere. Embarrassed afterward, the blacksmith quietly asked Juno, examining his unusual condition. Because the mysterious curse affected him, Juno panicked immediately, misunderstanding the request completely, while the blacksmith desperately clarified her intentions. After calming down, Juno carefully asked about the condition while the blacksmith awkwardly described unusual skin surrounding her body nervously there. Juno explained the condition sounded normal medically, convincing the relieved blacksmith unnecessary surgery should never become her immediate solution afterward. Juno reluctantly examined the blacksmith closely while questioning his strange behavior, noticing her nervousness. While checking carefully, Juno became distracted accidentally, causing uncomfortable tension between them as the embarrassed blacksmith awaited answers nervously afterward. The blacksmith immediately noticed Juno's reaction, leaving him panicked while imagining disastrous consequences, ruining their important adventure completely afterward. Their embarrassed arguments followed afterward, though the blacksmith eventually allowed Juno finishing the examination before ordering him leave immediately afterward. Before departing, the blacksmith warned Juno carefully about painful accidents involving zippers, leaving him disturbed by the detailed explanation afterward. The blacksmith reassured Juno his condition remained normal, while criticizing unfair opinions about foreskin among ignorant people. Inspired afterward, Juno passionately defended fairness, declaring nobody deserved ridicule because different bodies naturally existed throughout society, equally everywhere today. Juno dramatically announced changing society's opinions completely, leaving Herma confused while witnessing his strange determination growing stronger. Anne greeted Juno cheerfully after returning, but immediately noticed his unusual behavior and strange confidence during their important investigation mission afterward. Juno declared himself defender of justice proudly, shocking Anne and Herma, while completely forgetting their dangerous cursed sword investigation temporarily afterward. After failing finding clues, Juno apologized quietly while Anne listened carefully beside Herma. Anne raised her hand. Anne announced traveling alone temporarily, explaining she wanted personal training before returning stronger for their dangerous cursed sword investigation mission. Juno worried privately about Anne's destination, then remembered rumors describing unusual places capable of strengthening mysterious cursed abilities recently everywhere. Anne planned to travel toward Wine, a women-only village, hoping Ars's intense training would improve her abilities against dangerous supernatural enemies. Ars politely greeted a visitor inside the building, remaining confused while the unexpected visit interrupted her quiet activities. Anne nervously requested guidance from Ars about using her transformed body properly, shocking the priestess standing beside the doorway completely. Ars quickly accepted Anne's strange request happily, deciding enthusiastically to explain everything carefully while comforting her growing uncertainty afterward. Anne explained she wanted using her transformed body as combat support, leaving Ars confused about such dangerous practical applications entirely. Later, Ars awkwardly demonstrated an unusual technique explanation, while Anne listened seriously, trying understanding despite remaining completely. Anne admitted her magic seemed insufficient later, explaining honestly why she wanted learning combat techniques using her transformed body instead. Ars doubted Anne's dangerous strategy initially, yet admitted her unusual body size possibly allowed effective physical attacks during desperate battles. Anne defended her unusual methods confidently, reminding Ars she previously destroyed a powerful golem, despite misunderstandings surrounding the strange incident. Ars worried after hearing Anne suffered painful attacks constantly, while Anne seriously requested advice improving her dangerous combat abilities afterward. She finally recommended special protective equipment called Dick Armor, explaining proper gear remained necessary for Anne's risky fighting style afterward. Ars agreed, finding protective equipment later, while Anne requested combat training immediately, and Salus became unexpectedly involved. Ars trained Anne seriously outside, correcting her posture constantly while teaching proper attack momentum and defensive discipline during difficult exercises. Ars instructed Anne maintaining constant fighting readiness, leaving Anne embarrassed while struggling understanding difficult techniques involving her transformed body properly. After training ended, Anne thanked Ars sincerely, before asking whether anyone existed capable removing dangerous curses from powerful magical swords. San explained their cursed sword weakened devil powers already, while Ars apologized regretfully, despite successfully teaching valuable combat. Ars allowed Anne staying overnight kindly, while Anne gratefully promised leaving early next morning after completing her important training. Alone later, Ars worried secretly about their lord losing against enemies, causing everyone suffering dangerous curse consequences permanently afterwards someday. Ars selfishly decided enjoying herself while possible, revealing hidden desires quietly after hearing rumors regarding powerful anti-devil weapons recently discovered. During nighttime, Anne slept peacefully inside Arsa's building, while strange noises echoed nearby, interrupting the otherwise quiet. The next morning, Anne reunited happily with Juno and Herma later, announcing improved strength confidently while preparing carefully. Anne decided visiting Salus privately, refusing Juno's company because discussing strange armor equipment openly would embarrass her greatly afterward near town. Herma and Juno followed secretly anyway, discovering suspicious equipment nearby, while Juno nervously questioned Salissa's unusual recommendations afterward beside camp. The group suddenly found Salus relaxing outside carelessly, shocking Anne and Juno, while Herma silently observed the extremely awkward reunion during patrol together. Salus relaxed outside alone, secretly admitting his shyness prevented normal conversations with women, despite wanting romantic experiences before dangerous battles. He worried constantly because asking personal questions directly seemed suspicious, making him afraid authorities might misunderstand his strange interests afterward. Anne suddenly approached Salus cheerfully beside Juno and Herma, surprising him completely while interrupting his lonely afternoon thoughts. Salus awkwardly proposed marriage immediately after Anne requested assistance, leaving her confused while his nervous excitement overwhelmed the serious conversation entirely. Anne hesitated, nervously explaining her request carefully, while Salus panicked dramatically and begged her, avoiding frightening expressions during their discussion. Anne requested speaking privately with Salus, while Juno awkwardly stepped aside and watched their suspicious conversation begin. Herma noticed Juno becoming emotionally unstable nearby, then calmly reassured him while Anne quietly prepared, explaining her unusual request afterward. Anne finally admitted, wanting special dick armor crafted carefully, surprising Salus while he immediately focused seriously upon hearing her explanation afterward. Anne explained she trained using her transformed body during combat, causing Salus confusion before understanding her dangerous intentions completely afterward. Finally, Salus enthusiastically accepted helping Anne immediately, promising equipment and combat practice, while she worried excessively about his reckless dedication afterward. Salus explained accurate measurements were necessary crafting Anne's armor properly, while Juno and Herma listened suspiciously nearby afterward carefully. Juno suddenly attacked Salus protectively after overhearing everything, but Anne stopped him immediately before the misunderstanding became completely uncontrollable afterward. Anne apologized sincerely while explaining she wanted becoming stronger, protecting Juno and Herma, causing Juno realizing his personal weakness afterward deeply. Later, Salus regained consciousness inside the inn suddenly, screaming loudly after discovering everyone transported him there, carefully during nighttime afterward. Juno explained they shared the room temporarily, while Salus strangely enjoyed the unexpected sleepover, despite Anne's visible confusion afterward completely. Salus requested adventure stories before sleeping, while Juno suspiciously assumed hidden motives and complained quietly from the neighboring bed afterward. Salus begged enthusiastically for entertaining stories, causing Juno reluctant agreement while struggling deciding which strange experience deserved mentioning first afterward. Juno described bizarre adventures involving rabbit women and dangerous villagers, leaving Salus fascinated while listening carefully throughout the strange nighttime conversation. Juno continued recounting embarrassing incidents involving Herma and unusual curses, eventually asking Salus which story sounded most interesting afterward. Late night. After hearing overwhelming adventure details continuously, Salus collapsed mentally from exhaustion, while Juno calmly decided everyone finally needed proper sleep afterward. Morning arrived quietly, while Salus explained his exercise routine casually, causing Juno embarrassment after realizing he skipped bathing completely. Juno awkwardly suspected Salus smelled sweaty after training, secretly noticing physical details, while pretending his thoughts remained completely innocent. Juno insisted his efforts supported Anne sincerely, while Salus misunderstood completely and assumed romantic feelings motivated his determined behavior. Juno admitted wanting confessing feelings after defeating the devil someday, causing Salus questioning whether delaying everything remained truly wise. Salus warned Juno confession seemed impossible, while the dangerous devil continued existing, leaving Juno shocked hearing the harsh reality afterward. Salus warned defeating the devil affected many people emotionally, causing Juno suspecting hidden motives during their tense private discussion. Juno suddenly attacked Salus protectively, again, attempting eliminating possible threats immediately, while Salus panicked dramatically beneath his aggressive restraint. Later, Herma appeared freshly bathed during morning training, while Anne awkwardly praised her discipline and calm daily routine afterward inside. Quietly, a mysterious armored Dullahan appeared silently inside the forest, attracting Anne, Juno, and Herma. After requesting help finding something important, The Dullahan revealed written notes explaining missing circumstances while Juno and Anne carefully listened beside Herma during their forest meeting. Herma explained Dullahans normally carry their heads, but this wandering knight strangely lost it somewhere inside nearby dangerous woods. Juno explained separated Dullahan bodies eventually wander independently searching for missing heads, while Anne loudly volunteered helping search immediately afterward. He discovered the missing head hidden underground, then politely approached her while the embarrassed Dullahan head reacted nervously afterward. Juno carefully grabbed the Dullahan head from underground while she panicked nervously. After suddenly meeting him inside nearby forest bushes, Juno accidentally squeezed the Dullahan head tightly, causing her loud screaming while Anne watched the strange situation from far away. The Dullahan explained a monster called Dick Devil attacked her earlier, firing a strange curse that transformed her completely afterward. Embarrassed, the Dullahan revealed attaching her head exposed, embarrassing features publicly, forcing her hiding separately from her wandering body afterward. Juno kindly covered the Dullahan head using his cape, then urged returning quickly before her uncontrolled body encountered serious danger. Anne and Herma waited beside the Dullahan body anxiously while Juno remained missing after searching deeper inside dangerous nearby forest. The Dullahan suddenly reacted wildly after sensing its missing head nearby, causing Anne and Herma immediate panic beside it afterward. Juno carried the embarrassed Dullahan head carefully beneath his cape while she nervously complained about uncomfortable movement during their hurried return. He proudly announced finding the Dullahan head successfully while the hidden girl screamed quietly beneath his protective cape during their return. An questioned Juno's strange cape behavior while the embarrassed Dullahan secretly begged him protecting her embarrassing curse from everybody nearby. Juno awkwardly examined the Dullahan's exposed neck carefully while realizing her embarrassing curse appeared stranger after complete separation from her body. He prepared reattaching the Dullahan head carefully while warning Anne and Herma beforehand, preventing everyone from witnessing embarrassing exposure directly. The Dullahan body suddenly trembled intensely after reconnection, reacting uncontrollably, while Anne and Herma silently observed the strange transformation nearby afterward. Anne questioned the loud reaction nervously, while Herma partially understood everything, leaving Juno worried he caused another unexpected serious problem accidentally. The embarrassed Dullahan desperately claimed every Dullahan reacted similarly after reconnection, while Juno doubted her strange explanation completely afterward. The embarrassed Dullahan struggled, explaining herself while Herma ended the discussion quickly, after completing their strange forest investigation successfully afterward. The Dullahan rewarded Juno gratefully afterward, then discussed possible curse removal methods, while Anne and Herma listened carefully beside him nearby. She mentioned rumors about a sacred purification lake capable removing curses, surprising Anne, Juno, and Herma immediately afterward together. Hearing the lake possessed holy powers against curses, Anne excitedly suggested traveling toward the land of spirits immediately with everyone afterward. Later, the embarrassed Dullahan wandered publicly through town, nervously hiding her strange curse while confused pedestrians stared nearby afterward. During their journey toward the spirit land, Anne and Juno discovered Herma unconscious inside the room. Anne worried about Herma's sudden condition, while Juno calmly realized she suffered from an embarrassing phenomenon called techno break recently. Juno explained techno break meant death from excessive masturbation, shocking Anne while they examined Herma's motionless body carefully inside quietly. Anne suspected possible assassination, but Juno avoided deeper investigation while preparing revival magic to restore Herma safely before further complications appeared. Herma remained unconscious after excessive masturbation, leaving Anne horrified while worrying the revived priestess would continue causing troublesome incidents afterward. Anne discovered Herma's soul refused returning to her body, shocking Juno while their revival attempt suddenly completely failed inside quietly. The worried innkeeper entered nervously while Anne suspected murder, though she admitted personal bias against Herma influenced her judgment heavily. Anne questioned the innkeeper carefully about strange nighttime events, while Juno searched the room for clues beside Herma's unconscious body silently. She suddenly noticed the innkeeper's necklace reacting strangely, while hearing mysterious voices begging desperately for recognition nearby during investigation there. The truth appeared through flashbacks showing a succubus secretly approaching Herma during night, revealing hidden intentions. The succubus ignored Herma's resistance completely, introducing herself proudly while preparing seductive methods to overwhelm the priestess mentally afterward. The succubus cast a dangerous sensitivity spell upon Herma, increasing pleasure intensely, while removing the priestess's emotional resistance completely afterward. Herma lost control beneath overwhelming pleasure, experiencing unnatural ecstasy, while the mysterious spell continuously affected her exhausted body throughout relentlessly. The succubus finally revealed the spell expelled souls during climax, explaining Herma's spirit separated completely from her physical body. Afterward, Herma surrendered helplessly beneath unbearable pleasure before her soul violently escaped, causing the supernatural incident discovered later by Anne and Juno. The succubus targeted Juno next, secretly planning another nighttime attack, while Herma's wandering soul floated helplessly nearby during preparations silently. She entered Juno's room carefully, becoming excited while watching him sleep peacefully beside Anne throughout the quiet, dangerous night. Released seductive pheromones around sleeping Juno, the succubus confidently preparing manipulation, while apologizing mockingly toward Anne before approaching him closer silently. She suddenly noticed an enormous shape beneath Juno's blanket, freezing immediately after witnessing the unexpected supernatural-sized appearance underneath there. Shocked completely, the succubus questioned Juno's massive anatomy, while realizing she discovered prey far beyond her original dangerous expectations tonight. The frightened succubus attempted retreating from Anne's overwhelming dick, but sudden movement violently launched her backward across the entire room. Anne accidentally struck the succubus during sleep, shocking her completely while Anne continued resting peacefully. But Juno shocked from the incident, defeated and embarrassed, the succubus surrendered before Anne and Juno, while receiving demands to immediately restore Herma's wandering soul safely. The succubus finally returned Herma's soul successfully, allowing the exhausted priestess to awaken slowly inside the quiet bedroom afterward, peacefully. Anne happily embraced revived Herma gratefully, while Juno questioned why a succubus strangely targeted female victims instead of ordinary sleeping men. Herma misunderstood the situation proudly, while Juno secretly realized the succubus targeted her because she constantly pleasured herself excessively alone afterward. The party recalled the Dullahan's guidance toward the spirit entrance, explaining only chosen humans could successfully cross the mysterious boundary safely. After crossing together, Anne celebrated happily while Herma questioned purification conditions, wondering how the sacred lake removed dangerous curses completely. Herma suggested the lake might remove Anne's curse entirely, shocking Juno while Anne nervously considered the unexpected hopeful possibility carefully. Anne refused prioritizing herself alone, believing many cursed people needed assistance first, despite Herma encouraging her experimental purification attempt anyway. Juno quietly questioned Herma's suggestion. Feeling surprised, she encouraged Anne's treatment, despite openly enjoying her unusual transformed condition so much. Herma explained, she wanted helping Anne sincerely after witnessing emotional struggles caused by the curse during their difficult traveling. Herma laughed confidently, claiming purification would restore her ordinary lifestyle completely, while Juno silently doubted her cheerful. Juno remembered Herma behaving strangely earlier, remaining unconvinced by her statements, while Anne and Herma continued walking ahead together, afterward calmly. The traveling group finally discovered the purification lake nearby, where a mysterious horned woman quietly waited beside the peaceful shining water. Astarte introduced herself sadly, explaining the purification lake currently failed removing curses, leaving Anne, Herma, and Juno completely shocked afterward. Astarte explained the purification lake depended entirely on unicorn powers, but previous disasters damaged its cleansing abilities. She sadly admitted the Devil Dick's curse transformed her body too, shocking Anne while Juno reacted loudly beside the uncomfortable conversation there. He nervously denied Centaur's growing male anatomy naturally after accidentally noticing Astarte's horse body from behind during their strange discussion together. Herma explained their cursed sword could defeat the devil, but Astarte admitted losing concentration prevented properly cleansing dangerous objects currently there. Anne offered helping Astarte sincerely, while Juno introduced himself awkwardly, accidentally calling himself Gyno during the tense. Astarte suddenly invited Juno on a date calmly, leaving Anne confused while Juno reacted awkwardly. Meanwhile, Salas questioned Cybele, asking inappropriate curse-related questions before receiving immediate annoyed criticism afterward there. Salas explained collecting materials for cursed armor production, but his suspicious behavior and strange interests continued making conversations uncomfortable afterward. Therpsilis nervously proposed forming an alliance preserving the devil forever, shocking Cybele listening across the quiet tavern table completely there. Cybele immediately rejected Salas aggressively, criticizing his weakness while Salas desperately begged her cooperation despite humiliating himself publicly afterward there. Salas offered valuable information about Anne's group, demanding embarrassing rewards, while convincing Cybele, through shameless dramatic bargaining tactics afterward there, explained delivering strange armor. Salas required contacting people opposing the devil, causing Cybele suspiciously questioning his unusual suspicious intentions afterward there. Cybele agreed, revealing Anne's location after learning about the sacred sword, despite warning Salas would betray Anne completely afterward there. Salas openly admitted preferring girls with curses greatly, making Cybele realize his motivations remained extremely strange and selfish throughout everything there. He revealed protecting cursed girls mattered deeply because defeating the devil would remove their transformations permanently from existence forever, afterward there. Anne quietly asked Herma about dating worries involving Juno, appearing thoughtful while resting together. Meanwhile, Juno privately visited Astarte beside a pavilion table, preparing nervously for an important conversation regarding her unusual personal struggles afterward. Astarte admitted her condition distracted her constantly, explaining she invited Juno privately because she needed emotional guidance and understanding badly. Astarte bluntly confessed her transformed body remained uncontrollable permanently, while Juno reacted calmly after hearing her deeply embarrassing personal problem directly. Astarte explained unicorn instincts, limited romantic attraction severely after transformation, surprising Juno further while discussing intimacy and personal emotional desires. Unicorn instincts prevented relationships with experienced women, inspiring her unusual solution for preserving female virginity permanently afterward completely. Astarte confidently revealed preference for virgin men instead, while Juno awkwardly realized she immediately identified his inexperience correctly during conversation. She explained the spirit gate admitted only virgins, shocking Juno after learning male virginity counted differently from female virginity biologically. Juno advised Astarte against forcing others romantically, suggesting self-control instead, despite understanding her desperate need for purification powers and relief. Astarte sadly revealed her transformed unicorn body prevented physical relief entirely, leaving Juno speechless after hearing another embarrassing confession unexpectedly. Suddenly, Astarte aggressively approached Juno for physical relief, while Juno panicked after realizing her transformed body possessed overwhelming dangerous. Juno refused temporary solutions carefully, believing Astarte required genuine emotional healing instead of short relief from unbearable desires permanently afterward. Meanwhile, Anne worried privately about Astarte's growing closeness toward Juno, questioning whether romantic feelings existed between them already somewhere secretly. Herma immediately noticed Anne's jealousy, suggesting Juno clearly liked her instead, causing Anne to reconsider her emotional assumptions carefully afterward. Silently, Anne apologized emotionally toward Juno afterward, realizing her suspicions were unfair after misunderstanding his secret meetings with Astarte completely earlier. Herma feels the pressure before finally she directly questioned Anne's feelings toward Juno, causing Anne immediate embarrassment while struggling carefully to explain. Anne admitted Juno remained her closest companion since childhood, remembering years traveling together while quietly trusting him more than anyone else. Herma realized Anne loved Juno deeply already, but worried Anne's shy personality prevented her feelings from reaching him clearly ever. Suddenly, Juno rushed toward them frantically, urgently demanding Herma follow immediately, while both women reacted with complete confusion nearby. Afterward, Juno apologized while dragging Herma away quickly, refusing to ignore Astarte's dangerous situation despite leaving Anne behind. Anne misunderstood Juno and Herma completely, teasing them happily while Herma desperately attempted explaining the embarrassing misunderstanding. Anne quietly decided supporting their supposed romance felt important, while Herma remained shocked by Anne's completely incorrect assumptions regarding Juno. Afterward, Anne experienced unfamiliar emotions alone, questioning the strange painful feelings developing inside her chest while thinking about Juno constantly recently. Later, Anne received an unexpected letter from Salas requesting an urgent meeting, causing her curiosity and concern about future events immediately. Juno and Herma bent over nervously after shouting loudly outside. Herma demanded explanations beside the quiet courtyard area immediately afterward. Juno embarrassedly admitted, wanting helping Anne release pressure, causing Herma becoming shocked and demanding further clarification from him immediately afterward. He carefully explained Anne's curse affected her concentration badly, while Herma calmly listened beside the resting woman nearby silently afterward. Herma agreed Anne deserved sympathy, explaining personal desires required consent, while Juno accepted her strict reasoning quietly beside her afterward. She questioned Juno's intentions again, before suddenly hearing his ridiculous request, causing her collapsing backward from overwhelming disbelief immediately. Herma angrily demanded Juno open his bag immediately, while he desperately resisted exposing embarrassing objects hidden inside before collapsing. Several strange toys spilled across the ground suddenly, causing Herma screaming loudly while Juno watched the disastrous situation silently nearby. Juno comforted the exhausted Herma afterward, promising future recommendations while both characters remained defeated from the humiliating misunderstanding outside together. Juno offered partnership support for Astarte's condition, he deciding solving the curse peacefully without harming others instead. Elsewhere, Cybele and Solace discussed mysterious teleportation magic nearby, while questioning why the strange warp separated everyone unexpectedly inside forest territory. Cybele questioned Solace's feeling toward about Anne, while Solace proudly admitted loving every cursed girl equally without hesitation. Afterward completely, Solace denied favoring Anne specifically, explaining his admiration included every cursed woman regardless of appearance or body differences equally afterward. Cybele calmly explained every cursed woman possessed unique charm, rejecting comparisons while silently considering Solace's strange personal beliefs nearby afterward. Solace continued speaking shamelessly during travel, while Cybele discovered the spiritual realm entrance hidden behind ancient stone ruins nearby afterward. Juno presented strange tentacle equipment for Astarte carefully, believing the device could temporarily relieve her dangerous curse condition safely afterward. Juno encouraged Astarte, using the strange device herself safely, explaining personal relief prevented harming others through uncontrolled desires afterward carefully. Herma supported Juno's reasoning seriously, warning Astarte, selfish pleasure without responsibility toward others remained morally wrong afterward during discussion calmly. Astarte apologized to Juno sincerely, accepting the device until finding somebody accepting her unusual curse and emotional struggles completely afterward. She awkwardly excused herself afterward, leaving Juno and Herma waiting quietly outside the nearby wooden countryside house, together silently afterward. Juno suddenly remembered past experiences inside the building, while Herma questioned whether purification restored the sacred lake powers completely afterward. Herma nervously informed Juno that Anne misunderstood that he was in love with Herma, causing him panicking silently. Juno realized hiding Herma's embarrassing habits created misunderstandings, so he desperately considered confessing everything directly to Anne immediately, without causing trouble. Herma immediately begged Juno staying quiet after he threatened revealing her unusual behavior publicly, leaving both arguing frantically together near village entrance. Juno insisted teaching Anne about intimacy peacefully benefited everyone, while Herma reluctantly accepted his reckless decision afterward for Anne's condition. Herma and Juno discovered Cybele beside Solace, unexpectedly realizing both strangers secretly entered the village through another dangerous hidden gate. Herma watched Cybele arguing with Solace nearby, then suspected Solace secretly wanted protecting the strange devil, responsible for dangerous transformations. Hearing suspicious discussion nearby, Herma panicked immediately, while Juno rushed forward, fearing Anne accidentally walked directly into dangerous enemy ambushes. Juno loudly denied romantic feelings toward Herma repeatedly, embarrassing everyone nearby while Herma struggled understanding his sudden emotional outburst. Juno grabbed Herma confidently afterward, quickly explaining their relationship remained professional business cooperation, while Anne watched the strange interaction. Cybele restrained Anne carefully while demanding Escaladong immediately, threatening violence whenever nearby enemies attempted approaching their hidden forest position. Juno accused Cybele cowardice after stealing Anne's spellbook, but everyone realized weapons and magical equipment remained missing behind. Anne struggled desperately against Cybele's grip while preparing her strange transformation ability, hoping rescue companions survived the dangerous confrontation. Solace ordered captured enemies restrained tightly while Juno and Herma watched nervously, realizing negotiations completely failed between both suspicious. He warned Juno afterward that Anne would resent his recent actions deeply, though Juno silently accepted the painful criticism. Solace tightened Juno's restraints painfully while Anne watched nervously, realizing captured companions suffered retaliation after their earlier aggressive behavior. Anne sensed strange power growing inside herself after seeing Juno restrained nearby, believing her transformation ability strengthened through emotional pressure. Cybele questioned Anne carefully about Escaladong's location while threatening Juno indirectly, hoping fear would force immediate truthful cooperation. Anne suddenly attacked Cybele recklessly, despite overwhelming disadvantage, shocking everyone nearby through her desperate resistance during dangerous captivity inside forests. Cybele continued restraining Anne afterward, while admitting magical abilities remained unusable temporarily, forcing both sides into direct physical confrontation instead. Anne jumped forward courageously, declaring she would protect her companions, despite overwhelming danger surrounding the tense battlefield. She confidently revealed her unusual fighting method with her dick, leaving them completely speechless, while Solace reacted emotionally. Anne proudly reminded everyone she previously destroyed dangerous monsters alone, encouraging Juno while preparing herself for another desperate dangerous battle. She realized her strange defensive power remained incomplete against humans, though she still believed direct attacks could defeat Cybele. Confronted Cybele fearlessly afterward, Anne refusing surrender completely, while protecting Escaladong from enemy hands during the escalating dangerous confrontation. Juno realized Anne misunderstood the golem battle completely, while accidental timing and weak points caused her previous unexpected victory. Anne challenged Cybele proudly again, despite confusion surrounding her strange abilities, while Herma questioned Anne's understanding about transformation powers. Anne and Cybele prepared fighting stances immediately, promising victory confidently while threatening each other during the dangerous escalating confrontation nearby. Cybele admitted jealousy toward Anne afterward, revealing personal feelings caused their conflict, while Juno silently observed the emotional confrontation. Cybele mocked unconscious Salus after Anne frightened him accidentally, while Juno watched silently beside the tense argument. Anne confidently challenged Cybele toward direct combat, while the embarrassed warrior warned her seriously against becoming overly arrogant. Cybele attacked aggressively and claimed superior strength immediately, but Anne countered quickly with powerful strikes across the battlefield beside trees. Juno remained tied nearby while Anne continued attacking fiercely, as Cybele threatened humiliating punishment after winning their violent confrontation easily. Juno desperately called Herma for assistance after noticing Anne losing control completely, while ropes prevented him approaching the dangerous fight. Herma asked Juno bring ropes closer, while explaining strange reactions calmly. Though Juno remained embarrassed beside her restrained, she admitted wanting help Anne despite remaining tied carefully, while Juno noticed her determination and listened silently. Juno thanked Herma sincerely before grabbing magical equipment quickly, then rushed toward Anne after hearing her desperate cries. Anne continued battling fiercely, using unusual attacks against Cybele, while Juno observed nervously from distance, because dangerous strikes prevented interference. Cybele suddenly noticed hidden magic beneath Anne's clothing, then stared carefully after observing bright light flashing during combat unexpectedly. Cybele revealed Excalibur proudly during battle, shocking Anne immediately while Juno watched nervously. She mocked Anne's exposed weakness confidently and prepared stronger attacks, while Anne struggled defending herself against relentless pressure continuously. Juno suddenly restrained Cybele tightly from behind, desperately interrupting combat despite her obvious irritation and overwhelming physical strength during battle. Anne opened magical book quickly and cast offensive magic directly towards Cybele, sending Juno flying away accidentally during chaotic confusion. She protected injured Juno carefully while launching another magical attack, forcing Cybele backward after their dangerous confrontation intensified. Anne apologized awkwardly after accidentally pressing against Juno, while he calmly prepared revealing important thoughts regarding their strange condition. Juno explained cursed body parts were not weapons seriously, leaving Anne confused after hearing his unexpected comparison. Cybele insisted larger sizes determined strength completely, while Celeste and Herma disagreed, explaining those body parts existed only for pleasure instead. Anne angrily declared body parts existed only for urination, then questioned Juno carefully about anyone fighting using them before previously ever. Ars suddenly appeared beside exhausted group members afterward, while Cybele angrily complained, despite losing their embarrassing confrontation earlier. Cybele proudly challenged Anne and Juno again, declaring victory confidently despite injuries while displaying her cursed body aggressively. She suddenly noticed Anne's exposed underwear accidentally, becoming embarrassed immediately while Juno and unconscious Salus reacted awkwardly. Cybele angrily promised revenge before leaving quickly afterward, denying interest regarding Excalibur, while insulting everyone nearby repeatedly during retreat completely. Juno freed Herma carefully, while Anne questioned strange body reactions thoughtfully, remaining confused about Ars using similar powers. Anne and Herma relaxed inside the lake, but both noticed their curses remained unchanged after bathing peacefully together that afternoon. Herma explained the lake possessed weaker powers than the mysterious beam, while Anne quietly listened beside the strange creature. Anne mistakenly assumed Herma loved Juno romantically, but Herma immediately denied everything before apologizing awkwardly for misunderstanding their relationship earlier. She gently questioned Herma about secret discussions, causing Herma extreme embarrassment while nervously avoiding direct explanations beside the lakeside area. Reassured Herma patiently, Anne promising their friendship would continue until Herma eventually felt comfortable revealing her hidden concerns someday. Honestly, Anne tested Excalibur's purification abilities carefully, while Herma waited nearby, hoping the strange weapon finally removed dangerous curses permanently afterward. Astarte apologized sincerely to Juno after recovering purification powers, while Anne watched their calmer conversation beside the forest. Juno explained consent and post-nut clarity seriously, helping Astarte understand her earlier reckless behavior and emotional confusion afterward. Astarte proudly described Excalibur's unusual convenience features, embarrassing Juno while Anne overheard the extremely detailed explanation nearby awkwardly. Anne reacted loudly after hearing Juno's surprising knowledge, while Herma watched silently beside Astarte during their conversation. Anne suddenly noticed Excalibur moving strangely alone, causing Juno immediate shock, while questioning whether the dangerous curse finally disappeared. Then Anne explained, Excalibur started glowing strongly inside the lake, making everyone believe the curse purification process succeeded successfully after bathing. Excalibur continued twitching repeatedly without stopping, making Juno and Herma suspect the weapon reacted towards something unnatural. Anne guessed Excalibur pointed toward the devil's location, while Herma agreed following its strange movements could reveal important clues soon. Juno, Anne, and Herma accepted Excalibur's guidance together, preparing themselves carefully before continuing their dangerous search journey. Anne congratulated Astarte warmly after her purification powers returned, while Juno awkwardly accepted appreciation during their peaceful farewell. Herma noticed Astarte speaking privately with Juno again, then quietly reminded him about maintaining his suspicious earlier promise. Juno warned Anne against recklessly using her body during battles, while Anne listened carefully, despite feeling emotionally confused inside. Anne advised Juno avoiding Cybele and Salus completely, especially whenever magic became unusable during dangerous situations involving enemies. Cybele angrily blamed Anne for humiliating her publicly, while Salus silently repaired damaged armor beside the frustrated warrior. Cybele forcefully recruited Salus as her subordinate, while the confused tailor nervously accepted her authority during their strange partnership newly formed. Salus proudly offered suspicious assistant skills, embarrassing Cybele immediately, while she criticized his disturbing personality and manipulative behavior. Cybele celebrated Excalibur becoming unsealed again, declaring confidently she would eventually obtain the largest curse, despite ongoing dangerous complications for everyone. Hidden prankster fairies planned causing worldwide chaos for the Dick Devil, secretly targeting humanity and civilization through future destructive schemes everywhere. Juno secretly worried about revealing Anne's condition, while their group continued traveling together following strange Excalibur guidance through forest paths. He accidentally stepped onto hidden ground, immediately falling into a deep trap while raising both arms from sudden surprise below. Anne and Herma rushed toward trapped Juno, but his body became tightly stuck inside the mysterious narrow sensory deprivation hole. Herma explained the trap used sensory deprivation magic, preventing trapped victims from understanding physical sensations happening around their bodies. Juno misunderstood Herma's explanation completely, becoming embarrassed after imagining inappropriate trap effects, while Herma calmly criticized such unfortunate magical devices there. Juno feared dangerous monsters inside the trap hole, while Anne and Herma struggled desperately attempting pulling his trapped body. Anne prepared magical excavation, but Juno panicked after imagining tentacle creatures escaping underground tunnels and attacking nearby companions. Anne used floating magic carefully, while Juno accepted humiliation alone, believing nobody else should experience embarrassing situations caused by dangerous traps. Juno finally escaped the hole covered completely with slime. Realizing underground monsters had merely licked and swallowed his trapped lower body, Anne noticed weakened worms surrounding Juno afterward, while he calmly admitted Herma's suggestion wrongly caused terrifying misunderstandings. Regarding disgusting creatures, Juno escaped completely covered with slime, while Anne suddenly noticed strange physical reactions appearing across his exposed lower body. Herma discovered monster saliva, dissolved clothing and armor without harming flesh, leaving embarrassed Juno desperately hiding himself. Anne stared silently toward Juno's exposed appearance, while Herma calmly observed her unusual reaction developing during their uncomfortable situation. Anne became flustered watching naked Juno nearby, while her cursed body reacted again and caused unexpected physical enlargement. Anne worried the curse power became uncontrollable after weaponizing it previously, realizing she needed discipline suppressing dangerous transformations. Juno entered town exhausted after replacing destroyed equipment, then searched nearby buildings hoping simple quests could quickly provide income. A strange woman inspected Juno closely, using unusual tools, sensing abnormal demonic influence, despite his completely ordinary external appearance. The mysterious woman teased Juno by claiming her magnifying glass revealed bodies beneath clothing, causing immediate embarrassment and confusion. The woman introduced herself as Enrica Dagger, a researcher investigating the dangerous Dick Devil and related supernatural incidents affecting people. Juno admitted the devil caused serious trouble for Anne, although he awkwardly described transformed bodies as amusing entertainment. Enrica questioned Juno's morality, asking why women enjoying transformed bodies seemed wrong, despite his earlier entertainment comparison towards strange curses. She challenged Juno's beliefs about gender expectations, while he worried defeating the Dick Devil might reject changing societal values completely. Juno declared protecting Anne mattered most, promising defeat the Dick Devil and restore normality regardless of worldwide consequences. Henrika misunderstood Juno's devotion completely, accusing him of sacrificing the entire world selfishly for the woman he deeply loved instead. Henrika explained transformed bodies represented reproductive organs naturally, implying the dick devil changes carried broader, meaning beyond simple monstrous corruption entirely. After leaving confidently, Henrika promised another meeting since both researched the dick devil, leaving confused Juno questioning her mysterious intentions. Anne noticed her weapon reacting strangely before a bizarre creature appeared, revealing connections to the dangerous Dick Devil organization. The floating creature introduced itself proudly as a prankster modification fairy, shocking Anne, Juno, and Herma during their investigation together. The fairy attacked suddenly, declaring everyone would eventually admire dicks while using strange magic intended to completely alter human thinking. Juno resisted the fairy's manipulation while Anne strangely supported the message, leaving Herma confused about everybody's sudden unusual reactions. He attacked immediately after realizing resistance remained possible, while the fairy celebrated confidently before getting struck directly. The defeated fairy explained the strange symptoms would continue temporarily, leaving Juno worried about enduring another uncomfortable. Anne casually praised dicks publicly while Juno panicked nearby, realizing the fairy's strange mental influence remained strongly affecting everyone still. Herma decided staying inside the inn remained safest temporarily, while Juno awkwardly prepared himself privately until symptoms disappeared. Juno worried the strange condition could become permanent while Anne watched silently nearby. Concerned about his continuing unusual thoughts and behavior, Anne quietly admired her transformed body while speaking affectionately about it, leaving Juno speechless after hearing her unexpected sincere confession. Anne gently petted her dick, while imagining it like a cute cat, leaving Juno completely confused beside her. Herma interrupted suddenly after discovering Anne named her dick Prepuce, then explained Anne seriously talked with it privately. She shockingly considered abandoning religion for dick worship, while Anne enthusiastically supported the strange idea without hesitation beside Juno. Juno reminded both women they originally traveled together specifically to defeat the Dick Devil, causing these dangerous strange mental changes. Anne and Herma questioned whether dicks were truly bad, while Juno awkwardly admitted admiration, despite continuing their important dangerous mission. Herma suggested spreading strange dick worship publicly, while Juno questioned defeating the Dick Devil after everyone already enjoyed its influence greatly. Anne, Herma, and Juno openly admitted loving dicks together, while Anne curiously expressed interest about seeing other people's transformed bodies. Anne concluded everyone's transformed bodies seemed adorable, then suggested comparing them directly while Herma eagerly agreed beside Juno immediately. Anne encouraged Juno to participate too, while both women prepared excitedly before unexpectedly beginning comparisons together inside the small inn room. Juno suddenly struck both women forcefully, interrupting their dangerous behavior before the fairy's strange influence completely overwhelmed everybody. Anne regained consciousness beside Juno, confused about recent events while Juno quietly continued working beside the bed. Anne enthusiastically remembered defeating the Dick Devil mission, making Juno relieved after realizing her dangerous mental condition finally disappeared for now. While sharpening weapons privately, Juno worried defeating the Dick Devil might still leave everyone's transformations permanently unchanged. Anne joked awkwardly about disliking dicks beside Herma, although both secretly admitted lingering affection remained difficult controlling themselves. Cybele entered the room searching information about the devil while Salas slept nearby, dreaming embarrassingly about Anne. Cybele forcefully awakened Salas from his strange dream, leaving him confused, exhausted, embarrassed, and completely unaware about surrounding circumstances inside. Salas apologized awkwardly after oversleeping because exhausting nighttime training continued unexpectedly long, causing Cybele immediate concern about their investigation progress. Cybele praised Salas's dedication seriously, misunderstanding his explanation completely while discussing muscles, glutes, and physical conditioning methods inside the inn. Salas panicked, remembering painful transformations affecting his body, while Cybele silently questioned whether their situation resulted from her mistakes somehow. During breakfast, Salas discussed assumptions about cursed women, while Cybele focused seriously on locating the dangerous devil immediately nearby. Salas became overly excited, imagining mysterious possibilities surrounding cursed women, while Cybele ignored his embarrassing enthusiasm and continued eating silently. He joked about inventing magical glasses identifying cursed women instantly, though Cybele warned such dangerous behavior could invite immediate punishment. Henrika suddenly approached their table, introducing herself confidently, while investigating the mysterious devil independently throughout nearby regions. She explained her studies involving cursed women, discovering unusual mana patterns connected directly toward the devil, and creating detection tools. Henrika introduced her magical magnifying glass, explaining it detected dangerous devil mana surrounding numerous cursed women throughout nearby settlements. She casually examined Cybele, using the strange device, while Cybele warned her reckless behavior might eventually cause serious legal problems. Henrika mocked Cybele confidently after observing unexpected results through the device, causing embarrassment and uncomfortable tension between both researchers immediately. She invited Cybele closer for additional testing, while Salas eagerly requested opportunities using the suspicious magical detection device nearby afterward. Salas misunderstood Enrica's teasing attitude completely, becoming overwhelmed nervously while suspecting hidden intentions behind her unusual behavior toward him recently. Salas collapsed dramatically after misunderstanding Enrica's teasing actions, while Enrica laughed casually beside confused companions observing his embarrassing reaction nearby. Henrica apologized calmly afterward, revealing she already possessed a romantic partner, completely destroying Salas's unrealistic expectations immediately afterward there. She resumed discussing investigations seriously, while Salas recovered emotionally, though Cybele criticized his strange obsession toward cursed women constantly nearby. Henrica explained the magnifying glass detected devil traces throughout towns, allowing investigators opportunities tracking the dangerous creature directly through mana. She refused selling her valuable device, instead requesting permission joining their journey researching cursed women and personally meeting the Dick Devil. Henrica enthusiastically announced their new investigation group, while Celeste celebrated proudly beside Cybele, who remained visibly unimpressed throughout meetings. Cybele warned everyone the magnifying glass remained unreliable, explaining stolen devices could suddenly malfunction despite dangerous criminal misuse everywhere. Henrica teased Salas aggressively, accusing him of blindly chasing cursed women, while Salas denied romantic feelings toward her completely. Salas demonstrated strange soul projection abilities beside Enrica, causing Cybele growing frustration as their unusual investigation party became increasingly disturbing. The Excalibong changed directions repeatedly, while Herma and Juno realized the wandering monster remained extremely difficult locating. Exhausted from searching continuously, Anne walked through town beside Herma and Juno, while Juno suggested resting briefly nearby before continuing. Inside town, Duchess Licia loudly punished servants over dirt, covering her statue while frightened workers desperately apologized before further punishment arrived. Curious villagers explained Duchess Licia's strange behavior while Anne, Herma, and Juno watched her proudly discuss uncontrollable desires publicly inside town. Townspeople revealed Licia transformed completely after gaining male anatomy, eventually becoming cruel, while controlling politics through intimidation and constant fear everywhere. Villagers explained Licia's dictatorship involved frightening punishments instead of taxes, leaving Anne, Herma, and Juno increasingly disturbed by her behavior. Citizens continuously built enormous statues honoring Licia daily, though villagers admitted those exhausting demands remained only minor problems. Villagers revealed Licia recently demanded statues resembling male anatomy while opponents confronting her mysteriously disappeared afterward without returning alive. Anne, Herma, and Juno listened silently while villagers explained Licia forcefully corrected everyone regardless of age, gender, or personal resistance there, confused by villagers' strange wording. Anne and Juno slowly realized Licia physically exhausted victims repeatedly, until people completely surrendered. Anne sadly concluded male anatomy caused Licia's tyranny while villagers admitted nobody resisted her cruel authority anymore. Juno argued anatomy itself was innocent, explaining people decided whether powers entertained others peacefully or harmed innocent victims deliberately. Juno and Herma decided confronting Licia immediately, despite villagers' warning they would suffer dangerous correction from her. Anne remained confused about villagers repeatedly mentioning correction, unable understanding the disturbing meaning hidden behind their fearful expressions completely. Inside Licia's mansion, Juno criticized her abusive behavior directly, while Licia calmly questioned accusations and listened with suspicious amusement. Licia denied abusing anyone forcefully, laughing confidently, while Juno reacted with confusion toward her unbelievable explanation inside the mansion. Herma accused Licia of oppressing townspeople indirectly, but Licia defended herself while Anne noticed disturbing contradictions during their argument there. Licia proudly admired male anatomy publicly, insisting statues honored beauty naturally, while Anne became increasingly shocked by her obsession. Juno watched Licia attack aggressively using hidden anatomy powers, while she justified actions as peaceful agreements reached mutually. Licia revealed strange armor surrounding her anatomy before inviting Herma into agreement, causing an immediate alarm and fear. Salas nervously admitted crafting Licia's unusual protective underwear, while Juno stared confusedly at the bizarre anatomy covering before him inside mansion. Licia suddenly revealed hidden preparations, releasing strange poison weakening Anne, Juno, and Herma, while confidently trapping them inside together. Herma realized Lisha's poison affected desires instead of bodies, while Anne watched nervously as Lisha approached them seductively. Lisha sealed the room completely, forcing exhausted victims toward submission while proudly demanding everyone accept agreements through her anatomy during captivity. Lisha laughed wildly, trapping Anne, Juno, and Herma inside her chamber, while forcing everyone toward humiliating mutual understanding together there. Herma and Anne struggled helplessly against Lisha's strange attack, while Juno watched nervously, fearing immediate correction from her inside room. Masked assassin Kagyu Ringo suddenly appeared before Lisha, announcing her mission proudly, while shocked companions questioned unexpected dangerous circumstances silently. Ringo escaped using smoke bombs during chaos, while Anne begged desperately, preventing companions from killing the fleeing assassin immediately outside. Outside Lycia's mansion, Anne checked exhausted companions carefully while questioning Ringo's mission, showing sympathy, despite dangerous assassination attempts against her. Ringo explained, Lisha's cruel actions created resentment everywhere, while companions agreed defeating the Dick Devil could restore peace permanently worldwide. Juno questioned whether removing everyone's curses remained morally correct, while hidden noises suddenly interrupted his uneasy thoughts nearby, unexpectedly there. Lisha appeared excitedly near the forest, searching aggressively for escaping companions, while openly announcing her growing impatience toward them hiding. Ringo instructed Herma carefully before using mysterious earth ninja arts, causing Herma's body sinking underground unexpectedly beside frightened companions. Herma screamed helplessly while trapped underground, confusing Anne and Juno completely as Lisha reacted nervously nearby during chaotic confusion outside. Ringo admitted ninja techniques confused her badly, while Herma suffered accidentally underground, allowing Lisha approaching hidden companions dangerously. Ringo attempted another earth ninja technique, despite warnings, mistakenly trapping Juno underground while companions panicked beside collapsing terrain. Ringo prepared dangerous secret attacks confidently, believing repeated strikes could finally defeat Lisha, before everyone suffered humiliating correction from her. Anne accidentally received painful dart attacks during Ringo's assault, while confused companions struggled avoiding chaotic friendly fire injuries nearby together desperately. Ringo collapsed painfully from Lisha's counterattack, while Lisha smiled confidently, preparing prolonged correction against exhausted companions surrounding her helplessly. Lycia attacked recklessly, while Ringo suffered another painful defeat nearby, leaving exhausted companions watching chaotic destruction helplessly from distance silently. Angry townspeople surrounded weakened Lisha, rejecting her harsh rule completely while demanding freedom from humiliating correction methods imposed. Juno explained true understanding never came through forceful correction, causing Lisha finally reconsidering her harmful leadership and oppressive violent behavior. Anne encouraged Lycia sincerely, explaining proper communication required honest words instead of curses, allowing regretful reflection among defeated companions. Townspeople approached carefully while unconscious companions remained scattered across courtyard stones, leaving Lycia awaiting uncertain judgment from furious citizens. Furious townspeople confronted recovering companions silently, while Lycia admitted problems happened, creating tense uncertainty throughout damaged courtyard. Ringo acknowledged everyone survived, despite painful suffering previously, while angry citizens dismantled Lisha's statue across town publicly during reconstruction efforts. Anne questioned Ringo about the Dick Devil carefully, learning mysterious stone monuments possibly connected directly toward the dangerous creature's existence somehow. Companions discussed traveling toward Excalibur for further investigation, while Lycia quietly listened beside them, remaining uncertain about future redemption paths ahead. A strangely obsessed woman begged Lisha for further correction, revealing lingering effects from previous encounters, despite recent peaceful resolutions. Obsessed citizen confronted Lycia emotionally, demanding further corrections while rejecting Lycia's apology and abandoning responsibility toward devoted followers. The unstable woman attacked Lycia desperately, insisting painful correction represented true care while frightened companions watched escalating confrontation. Anne explained defeating the Dick Devil might prevent future incidents, though emotional damage surrounding Lycia's victims would remain permanently. Lycia reflected sadly upon humanity's cruelty, questioning why people harmed others through curses instead, communicating honestly using ordinary words. Ringo prepared another Earth Ninja technique immediately, while companions panicked nearby, desperately trying preventing further chaos around emotionally unstable. Enrica introduced herself proudly beside Cibele, while Solis stared excitedly, admiring muscular women and praising their cursed appearances enthusiastically. Juno dismissed Salis completely, claiming unnecessary dependence, while Cibele watched silently from behind, appearing slightly irritated beside shelves. Cybele suddenly informed Salas about his dismissal, leaving him shocked while nearby companions questioned her unexpected decision nervously inside. Salas desperately begged forgiveness, promising loyalty and hard work while crying dramatically across the floor before Cybele and Henrica defended Salas calmly, explaining male assistance remained valuable, while Cybele reconsidered carefully beside the embarrassed tailor holding tools quietly. Henrica warned Cybele carefully, fearing dismissal herself while maintaining confident smiles beside nervous companions observing their tense conversation inside. Quietly Henrica presented strange goggles called Stator, instructing Cybele immediately while demonstrating mysterious functions connected toward Salas nearby inside the workshop. Cybele examined Salas through magical lenses, discovering embarrassing personal statistics, while shocked reactions spread across surrounding companions immediately. Henrica offered additional inventions enthusiastically, while Salas volunteered nervously for testing, causing Cybele visible frustration beside cluttered tables during experiments. Cybele ordered Salas toward his room, demanding convincing usefulness while his ridiculous dancing suggestion created awkward silence downstairs among everyone. Cybele scolded Salas harshly for inappropriate jokes, dragging Henrica away, while locking him alone inside the dusty bedroom quietly. Salas secretly completed bizarre protective equipment overnight, proudly revealing strange armor beneath candlelight, while imagining Anne's future reactions nervously inside workshop. Salas stared obsessively toward Anne's cursed body, fantasizing recklessly about dangerous experiments, while speaking disturbingly affectionate words without restraint inside his cluttered tailoring room alone. Juno informed Anne about accompanying Herma outside, causing Anne confusion while preparing belongings quietly beside their temporary lodging that morning. He secretly decided visiting an adult store with Herma represented important progress, while Herma followed him without objections through town. Juno guided Herma across crowded streets, explaining he discovered suspicious establishments accidentally during previous travels between unfamiliar settlements for supplies. He revealed hidden markings identifying erotic businesses, surprising Herma while describing bookstores, secretly containing restricted merchandise behind ordinary sections inside. Herma nervously admitted Juno possessed disturbing knowledge regarding intimate businesses, questioning how frequently he investigated unusual establishments previously during travels. Juno and Herma entered hidden bookstore nervously while Salas noticed them nearby, causing Juno embarrassment regarding suspicious misunderstandings inside there. Salas wrongly assumed Juno and Herma maintained romantic involvement, while both immediately denied accusations inside crowded adult merchandise section awkwardly. Juno explained visiting together represented apology toward Herma, claiming shared shopping experience created surprisingly meaningful companionship, despite uncomfortable circumstances surrounding them. Herma discovered numerous intimate devices displayed openly across shelves, becoming overwhelmed while Juno casually described products as ordinary training equipment there. She forgave Juno reluctantly while demanding explanations regarding strange merchandise, though jealousy emerged after witnessing his extensive knowledge unexpectedly firsthand. Juno awkwardly explained single-use intimate products to Herma, while she nervously questioned their purpose and demanded honest feedback immediately there. Herma examined product descriptions carefully, while Juno recommended beginner merchandise, causing severe embarrassment throughout crowded aisles filled with unusual equipment. Salas criticized Juno for answering intimate questions carelessly, admitting limited knowledge regarding insertion devices, despite running questionable businesses himself professionally. Herma discovered shelves containing phallic merchandise unexpectedly, while Salas enthusiastically explained those products represented his personal specialty within adult retailing there. Herma selected bizarre flower-shaped merchandise confidently, while Juno realized her strange preferences still centered around dangerous carnivorous plants emotionally. Juno recommended lubricant carefully, while Herma worried his extensive knowledge damaged personal reputation further during uncomfortable shopping trip discussions there. Herma inspected dangerous advanced products seriously, ignoring Juno's warnings while Salas watched nervously beside crowded shelves containing strange merchandise. Herma discovered vibrating magical massager unexpectedly, examining unfamiliar object carefully while wondering whether ordinary therapeutic equipment belonged inside adult establishments. Juno explained massage devices could stimulate intimate areas too, causing Herma immediate realization regarding hidden store purposes behind seemingly innocent products. He worried Herma's growing obsession with intimate products would weaken future adventures. While she continued browsing merchandise enthusiastically during early morning, Juno joked about abandoning Herma inside store permanently, believing strange merchandise already transformed her priorities, completely beyond ordinary adventuring and companionship. Herma noticed Juno staring nervously nearby, misunderstanding his expression before suddenly realizing he refused purchasing anything personally there, for himself entirely. Herma encouraged embarrassed Juno toward product shelves confidently, insisting he purchase preferred items without worrying about judgment from companions. Salas recommended beginner products enthusiastically, while Herma teased Juno casually, claiming shared experiences made him another traveling companion member within group dynamics. Juno questioned Salas's sudden appearance nearby, suspecting mysterious enemies somehow tracked their movements while investigating dangerous cursed incidents across regions. Juno confronted Salas directly inside crowded shops, demanding explanations, while Salas calmly prepared himself for uncomfortable questioning from visitors. He explained his interest toward unusual training equipment confidently, causing Juno embarrassment while strange products surrounded their awkward conversation. Salas defended humanity's limitless potential seriously, refusing personal limitations while Juno listened carefully beside shelves displaying suspicious merchandise. Juno refused romantic commitments until Anne removed her curse permanently, disappointing Salas while remaining focused upon defeating dangerous enemies first. Juno admitted loving Anne completely, despite her dick, leaving Salas shocked while misunderstanding Juno's emotional explanation entirely during discussions. Herma questioned Juno directly about his feelings toward Anne, while nearby companions reacted awkwardly beside crowded shopping aisles together. Salas described himself and Juno as romantic rivals supporting Anne simultaneously, creating confusion while discussing shared interests inside stores. Juno explained their mission against the devil, seriously, while Salas defended opposing goals regarding the creature's continued existence stubbornly there. Salas revealed ambitious fantasies involving cursed women proudly, refusing Juno's mission while protecting personal dreams connected toward transformed individuals. Salas described extreme fantasies confidently while challenging Juno emotionally, causing another heated argument regarding Anne's cursed transformation situation together. He spoke strangely about enlightenment beside embarrassed companions, while Juno struggled understanding his bizarre personal philosophies completely during discussions. Salas warned Juno seriously about future physical difficulties, insisting constant preparation remained necessary. Despite Juno rejecting unwanted advice repeatedly there, Juno decided leaving immediately became safest, believing Salas behaved dangerously, while Herma remained absent somewhere else during uncomfortable conversations. Salas implied Anne felt lonely without companions nearby, causing Juno confusion while questioning his suspicious intentions carefully inside crowded stores. Anne discovered Salas delivered strange armor secretly, while Juno and Herma remained absent during their unexplained trip elsewhere from town. Juno warned Anne against trusting Salas completely, insisting dangerous enemies manipulated everyone through bizarre cursed situations surrounding them inside town. Anne kept the mysterious armor carefully despite embarrassment, wondering anxiously what Juno and Herma currently experienced together elsewhere outside camp. Juno interrupted Salas suddenly after hearing suspicious comments about Anne, chasing him aggressively across crowded store aisles immediately without hesitation. He stumbled backward nervously when unexpected movements appeared nearby, realizing dangerous trouble possibly approached from hidden areas surrounding them suddenly. Salas collapsed painfully beside Juno, explaining mysterious light struck him suddenly, while strange physical discomfort spread throughout his exhausted body rapidly. Juno supported weakened Salas carefully before noticing dramatic chest growth, becoming increasingly confused regarding the curse affecting nearby victims everywhere. Suddenly, Salas observed Juno shrinking unexpectedly during their escape, realizing another transformation occurred, while both struggled understanding chaotic magical circumstances around them. Juno panicked after developing feminine features completely, while transformed Salas reacted dramatically beside shocked streets surrounding their dangerous encounter that moment.